Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is story about what if Hiruzen gets to know Naruto is grandson of Tobirama and give him special treatment. Part 1. Before I start, please do support for more amazing content and comments for part 2. Do consider to subscribe my channel and share my video to your friends and check out the description as well. Let's start the video. The village hidden in the leaves, a village founded by the greatest ninja of the age, Hashirama Senju. Together with his wife, Mito Uzumaki, and his brother Tobirama Senju, fought and survived through the Warring States period. The Senju clan and Uzumaki clan were not the only ones to found Konoha, as the Senju clan's rival, the Uchiha clan also helped. Over the years, Konoha thrived, but Hashirama's dream never came true. Although he was not able to achieve peace during his lifetime, his legacy and vision for the world would continue to shape the village and the entire shinobi world even after his death. Others followed Konoha's lead and made their own ninja villages. Thus came the time of the 5 great shinobi nations. However, war erupted between the nations for a resource that was limited. The Biju are the 9 titanic living forms of chakra created by the Sage of 6 Paths out of the chakra from the 10 tails. Each nation sought to control these creatures and use them as weapons by sealing them within a young child. These children with Biju sealed within them are called Jinchuriki. An ironic name considering the children keep the fury of the Biju at bay while suffering discrimination and fear from the very people that made them Jinchuriki. Eventually the nation settled the matter and all of them gained Bijus. For Konoha, they gained the strongest, the 9-tailed demon fox. The first Jinchuriki of the 9 tails was none other than Mito Uzumaki, wife of Hashirama. However, at a very old age, Mito knew she would need to seal Kyuubi within another host. This host was Kushina Uzumaki, a relative of Mito's. Kushina was born between her Uzumaki father and her Hyuga mother. Though she herself never developed the all-seeing eyes of the Hyuga clan. Later in time, Kushina would meet and fall in love with a young genin from her class. This genin would rise through the ranks and become Hokage. His name was Minato Namikaze, but to his enemies he was called Konoha's Yellow Flash. Minato Namikaze was Konoha's best kept secret as he was really named Minato Senju, descendant from Tobirama Senju. The third Hokage and elders believed if his heritage was announced, he would be targeted by the other nations, and war would erupt again. Minato and Kushina would become a couple after Kushina was kidnapped by Kumagakure forces. Konoha mobilized its ninja to retrieve her, but only Minato noticed the strands of red hair Kushina left behind to mark their path. Minato, acting alone, rescued her from her captors. Kushina, who had previously believed Minato unreliable and even girly, began to fall in love with him. However, once again peace was ruined when the Third Shinobi World War began. Minato, now in charge of his own team, was deployed to fight. Kushina would often be seen fighting beside her love. In one particular battle, Minato would gain his moniker that would strike fear into his enemies. On the front lines, Minato met up with the surviving and outnumbered Konoha ninja and single-handedly wiped out the opposing Iwagakure forces. This single battle convinced the third Tsuchikage to accept a peace treaty. After coming back from the war, Minato would receive the honor of being elected as the 4th Hokage. Nearly a week later he received more good news: Kushina was pregnant. While he was elated to know he would be a father, he also realized the danger to the child, Kushina, and the whole village. He had his pupil and now Anbu Captain Kakashi guard Kushina during her pregnancy. Minato's sensei Jiraiya, who was also one of the legendary Sannin, inadvertently named the child in one of his novels. Liking the name, Minato and Kushina named their child Naruto. Jiraiya would become the child's godfather, and Tsunade, granddaughter of the first Hokage, would become godmother. Tsunade, although hating the village that took her loves away from her, stayed to help relative Minato and pupil Kushina. October 10th, the night that Kushina was to give birth. To keep the Kyuubi in check, Kushina was moved outside the village and give birth in a remote location. Minato would help maintain the seal, and Anbu would guard the area. Tsunade, her pupil Shizune and the third Hokage's wife Bawako would deliver the baby. "Ah. This really hurts, you know," shouts Kushina while the Anbu outside sweat drop. Kushina grunts and yells in pain as Minato keeps his hands on the seal holding the Kyuubi at bay. Minato seems worried as Tsunade, Shizune and Bawako stand ready to deliver the baby. "I've never seen her cry out in pain like this before," says Minato with a worried face. Kushina continues to yell out and grunt. "Is she okay?" asks Minato to Tsunade, who focuses on the baby. "Of course she is," assures Bawako as Tsunade is focused on her job. "Lord Hokage, please focus on the seal," says Shizune as she runs for water. "But she's " says Minato before Tsunade looks to him. "You're the 4th Hokage," says Tsunade, making Minato look to her. "She needs your strength now more than ever." "No man could endure the pain of childbirth," says Bawako. Minato suddenly hears the Kyuubi roar and shake the seal. "Kyuubi, it's trying to break free," thinks Minato with sweat running down his face. "Hang in there Kushina," thinks Minato as he focuses on the seal. "Hang in there Naruto." Tsunade narrows her eyes and sweats. He sure is taking his time. Thinks Tsunade. Outside the barrier, the Anbu lie dead with a masked man choking one. The masked man looks to the barrier and walks forward. He walks to the stone wall and seemingly goes right through it. Kushina yells out again while Tsunade widens her eyes slightly. "I can see his head," says Tsunade, making Minato smile. Shizune wipes Kushina's head with a wet cloth. "You're almost there, Lady Kushina," assures Shizune. "Hang in there, Kushina," says Bawako while Minato shakes after hearing Kyuubi roar out again. "Naruto, come out quickly," shouts Minato as Kyuubi thrashes around in the seal. "Kyuubi, you stay put," shouts Minato as Kushina gives one final push before relaxing. The cries of the infant fill the cave. Tsunade smiles and the baby before looking to Shizune. "Hot water," shouts Tsunade. "Right," confirms Shizune as she fetches the water. Kushina pants before tears fall from her eyes. Minato stands still with wide eyes, gawking at his baby. Naruto has 3 whisker-like marks on each cheek and a patch of red hair, like his mother. His eyes however are as blue as his father's. "Oh, just look at those adorable whisker marks," frets Tsunade while rubbing the marks. Minato starts to cry and rub his eyes. "Today, I'm a father," says Minato with tears. Tsunade checks the baby over and smiles. The baby is perfectly healthy," assures Tsunade as she walks to Kushina. Minato walks forward and laughs. The mother sees him first. Glares Tsunade, making Minato depressed. Tsunade giggles at her cousin's depressed state, reminding her of her grandfather. Kushina looks to the crying infant and smiles. "Naruto," calls Kushina with a soft smile, "I finally get to see you." Tsunade watches with a smile before Bawako comes over and looks to her. "You'll have lots more time later," assures Bawako as she takes the baby. Tsunade looks over Kushina and gives Minato a nod. "Kushina, I need to completely seal the Kyuubi," smiles Minato, making Kushina nod her head with smile. Tsunade reduces the pain with her medical ninjutsu. "Ah!" shouts Bawako and Shizune who hits a wall. "Shizune!" shouts Tsunade as she stands. "Bawako!" shouts Minato. "Fourth Hokage Minato and Lady Tsunade, get away from the Jinchuriki," demands the masked man. Tsunade glares at the man with hatred. "You bastard, release the baby," demands Tsunade as she enters a stance. "Oh, not so fast," says the masked man as he brings the baby closer to his hand. "A single accident and the child dies," says the masked man, causing Tsunade to sweat. "Hand over the Jinchuriki," orders the man as Minato glares, "otherwise, this child's life will end in 1 minute." "Jiraiya, where are you?" thinks Tsunade with panic. "How did he get past the barrier?" thinks Minato. Kushina suddenly yells out as sealing patterns appear over her skin. "Kushina!" calls Minato in panic. Tsunade looks to her and grits her teeth. "The seal won't last," thinks Tsunade. "Perhaps I wasn't clear enough," says the masked man as he pulls out a kunai, "or do you not care what happens to your child?" Tsunade glares and steps back a bit where Senbin are at. "Wait. Calm down," tries Minato as he sees what Tsunade is doing. "Speak for yourself, Minato," says the masked man as Tsunade reaches the tray. "I'm as cool as can be." Suddenly Tsunade throws the tray at the masked man who widens his eyes at the speed. The tray goes right through him, but Naruto also goes through his hand. Minato narrows his eyes and flashes right under Naruto before catching him. The tray hits the wall, and the masked man looks down. "Take this," shouts Tsunade as her fist hits the mask and sends the man flying into a wall. However, Minato looks at the cloth on the baby and sees paper bombs. The masked man gets up and forms a ram seal, making Tsunade widen her eyes. "Minato!" "Naruto!" shouts Kushina in panic. "Minato!" shouts Tsunade as the seal on her forehead goes off. Minato understanding looks to Shizune and grabs her before he flashes himself, Shizune, Naruto and Tsunade away. They appear in a small cabin as Minato takes the cloth off and passes it to Tsunade who clutches it close to herself. The tags go off as Minato exits the cabin and rolls to a stop with Shizune and Naruto. "Tsunade!" shouts Minato as Tsunade emerges from the rubble with burns marks and blood running down her body. She shakes as she sees the blood making Minato rush to her and rub it off. Tsunade grabs Minato and looks to him. Shizune awakens and looks to Tsunade before rushing over. "Oh, save her," says Tsunade as Minato nods and leaves. The masked man releases the Kyuubi and then places it under his control. He then attacks the village using the fox demon. The ninja attack but are easily defeated by the Kyuubi. While that battle is happening, Minato faces off against the masked man. Using his Hiraishin level 2, he deals a blow to the masked man with his Rasengan. The masked man retreats but vows to return. Although the man was defeated, the Kyuubi is still free. With no other choice, Minato chooses to seal the beast at the cost of his own life. Using the sealing jutsu, Reaper Death Seal, Minato seals Kyuubi within his own son. However, Kyuubi uses the last bit of his strength to try and kill Naruto, but Minato and Kushina take the attack themselves. With that, Minato seals the beast away and dies next to his wife. Days later, the village is in an uproar and seeking to reconstruct the buildings. Tsunade mourns the loss of her cousin while looking over Naruto with Jiraiya and Shizune. However, the council believe Naruto is too dangerous to live and seek to get rid of the child. Enough! Shouts Hiruzen with a glare. Tsunade and Jiraiya stand next to him while Shizune holds Naruto. The council quiets as Hiruzen sighs. "We will not execute a child," says Hiruzen with no room for argument. The shinobi nod their head while the civilians look to each other and murmur. "I agree, the child could be of use if trained properly," says Danzo while looking at Naruto. "Like hell," shouts Tsunade as she glares at the one-eyed man. "We all know your type of training," says Jiraiya with a glare. "That thing should be killed now," shouts a council member, making Tsunade glare at him. "The Kyuubi needs to be killed," says the man. "Naruto is not the Kyuubi," shouts Tsunade, making the council quiet. Tsunade looks at the council members before one man stands. "My wife was killed by that monster," says the man before he takes out a kunai. "I will not live while that creature still breathes," shouts the man as he attacks. Tsunade widens her eyes as he attacks Naruto and Shizune. However, before the man can get closer, a large tree branch wraps around his body and sends him flying back into the opposite wall. The council gawks at the power while Hiashi Hyuga smiles. "I for one agree with Lord Hokage, the child is partly a member of my clan as Kushina was from my clan," says Hiashi as he stands. "You wish to adopt the child?" asks Yugaku while looking at him. "Adopting the child could create a power struggle within Konoha," says Danzo, making Tsunade glare at him. "No one is adopting him," says Tsunade, making everyone look to her. "Jiraiya and I are Naruto's godparents and were given permission by Minato and Kushina to look after him in the event something happened to either of them. As such, we will determine who will raise the child, not you," says Jiraiya. Danzo glares at the two. "And what of his training? I'm sure neither of you know Mokuton," says Danzo, making Hiruzen smile. "Danzo?" calls Hiruzen as an Anbu member appears next to the Hokage. Danzo glares at the man and narrows his eyes at Hiruzen. "Danzo here will teach Naruto how to use his power," says Hiruzen as he looks at the council members. The shinobi council nod their heads in acceptance while the civilian council looks wary but nod their heads. "Good, you're all dismissed," says Hiruzen as the council leaves while Anbu take down the man who attacked Naruto. Tenzo turns to Hiruzen and Hiruzen looks to him. "Tenzo, I assume you saw what happened?" asks Hiruzen as he smokes his pipe. "Yes, Lord Hokage," confirms Tenzo. Tsunade looks to the man while Jiraiya looks to Hiashi. "You know Mokuton?" asks Tsunade, making Tenzo nod his head and produce wood from his hand. Hiashi steps forward and bows his head. "If it is alright with you, we of the Hyuga clan would also like to assist in his training in the event he awakens the Byakugan," says Hiashi, making Jiraiya look to him and nod. Tsunade rubs her head and sighs. "I can't stay for long, but I know he will be in good hands with the Hyuga clan," says Tsunade as she plans to leave again. "I have to maintain my network and I can't exactly take him with me," says Jiraiya before chuckling sadly. "What horrible godparents we are," says Jiraiya. "You need not worry, the Hyuga clan will watch over him," assures Hiashi. "And I will train him," assures Tenzo. "Then we are all agreed," says Hiruzen with a nod. Orphaned, Naruto grew up not knowing who his parents were, receiving only his mother's surname, as Hiruzen wanted to protect Naruto from his father's enemies. Tsunade and Jiraiya would look after him for a time, but in the end they each left the village. Though Naruto would always view them as his parents. Hiashi fulfilled his role and trained Naruto while also giving him a roof over his head. Tenzo also began to teach Naruto the basics of chakra. Minato's dying wish that Naruto be regarded as a hero was honored by the very few who could put aside their pain and losses caused by the disaster, while the majority of Konoha, however, having no knowledge of the circumstances surrounding his birth, openly ostracized and resented Naruto for containing the beast that devastated the village and took many lives. Some even viewed Naruto as the Nine Tails itself. Soon it was forbidden to even mention the nine-tailed fox, with the hope of the younger generation would not hate Naruto. This failed, however, as the children copied their parents. As Naruto grew, his hair became spiky, much like his father's, with the difference being his hair was red. On his forehead is a rhombus-like marking. Tsunade had taught Naruto the strength of 100 seal, to which Naruto was able to achieve despite his young age, no doubt from his Uzumaki blood. Naruto, now ready to start his first day at the academy, walks through the snow. He walks while looking at the snow. He grabs a snowflake and smiles. "Grandma, Tsunade would like to see the snow," says Naruto as his face turns sad, missing the person who was like a mother. Suddenly Naruto hears crying, making him turns to his right. "If you really are a Hyuga, show us your Byakugan," says a young boy with a smirk. "Why bother, just get out of here," says another child. "You, her eyes are creepy," says a girl. The girl they are making fun of begins to cry, making Naruto step out of the bushes. Boy. Calls Naruto, making the kids look to him. What do you want, tomato? Asks the lead kid. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, your future Hokage. Announces Naruto, making the kids laugh. Like a carrot top can become Hokage. Says one kid. Naruto glares at the two before stepping forward and punching the kid who made fun of him. But the idiot. Says the other kid and punches Naruto, who tanks it and gut punches him. The three kids get into a brawl and it seems Naruto is winning due to his superior strength. With a final punch Naruto hits the kid down in pants. Well? You feel like apologizing now? Asks Naruto while panting. The kids wipe their faces and glare before Naruto glares at them with a fiery background. Well? Asks Naruto in a deep tone, making the kids look to Hinata. Sorry. Says the kids, making the girl widen her eyes as the kids run away. Naruto sighs before falling on his butt. Hey, are you okay? Asks the girl. Naruto looks to her and widens his eyes when he sees no pupils. So you really are part of the Hyuga clan? Says Naruto, making the girl nod her head. Yeah, I've seen you around a lot. Says the girl. Really? Asks Naruto as he sweats, thinking he forgot someone's name. My name is Hinata, my father is Hiashi. Says Hinata with a blush and smile. Naruto gapes at having forgotten the clan head's daughter. Why you're Hiashi-san's daughter? Asks Naruto while breaking out into a sweat. Hi. Says Hinata while blushing. How come I've never seen you? Asks Naruto, making Hinata turn beet red with steam coming from her face. I hide. Whispers Hinata with a blush. Naruto leans in with his ear. Huh? Asks Naruto, making Hinata shake her head. Naruto shrugs before standing and looking down at her. Don't let those jerks get you down, says Naruto as he lifts her chin with a smile, while Hinata blushes beet red at the contact. I think you looks really pretty. Naruto lets go and runs to the academy. See you later, Hinata. Says Naruto while Hinata sits there with wide eyes. She then smiles with a blush and places her hands on her chest. Pretty. Says Hinata. Hinata then snaps out of her daydream and runs to the academy, while Tenzo sits on a tree overlooking the area. I'm sure Lord Jiraiya would love to hear of this. Says Tenzo as he vanishes in a body flicker. Naruto dashes through the snowy ground, making his way towards the ninja academy for his first official day. Naruto met Hinata nearly 2 months ago to apply for the academy. Naruto wears black pants with dark red stripes on the side of the pants legs. On both legs he has a kunai holster. He also wears a black Anbu vest over a burgundy shirt that leaves his arms exposed with an Uzumaki swirl on the back. On his hands are black metal ninja gauntlets, given to him by the third Hokage. At age 12, Naruto looks more like his father and Tobirama with his spiky hair and blue eyes, but still retains his mother's red hair. But his personality stems from his grandfather, Tobirama Senju. Though blunt and serious, Naruto retains his mother's excitement when he finds something interesting and his father's quick learning. Though, his intellect in academics is sorely lacking. This is due to the fact that Naruto views theory irrelevant and learns more by doing. Growing up being trained by Tenzo and other members of his Anbu guard, Naruto is strong for his age. Being trained in Kenjutsu by Nico is one of his favorite things to do. Tenzo has taught Naruto a lot of Doten and Suiten Jutsu since training Naruto. Tenzo has also taught Naruto some basic Mokuten Jutsu. Inu has taught him survival and stealth, while Hiashi has helped Naruto develop his own Taijutsu style. Naruto pulls a sharp left turn and jumps over a barrel of trash before sliding under some wood. Naruto pants before he spots the building and smiles. He enters the area to see parents and their children talking. He looks on with envy and sadness before sighing. The parents and kids glare at the child. I can't believe they're allowing that thing to enter the academy. Whispers a mother of a child. Right, what if he loses control and kills my baby boy? Asks another mother. Keep away from that boy. Says a father to his daughter. Naruto ignores their words and steps to a swing before sitting. He swings several times before a ninja appears. Welcome, my name is Iruka Yamino. Greets the ninja with a smile. Iruka is a man of average height and build. He has black hair that he keeps in a ponytail, dark eyes and a scar that runs across the bridge of his nose. He wears the standard Konoha shinobi outfit, complete with forehead protector, sandals, and flak jacket. I will be your children's instructor until they graduate at the age of 15. Says Iruka before looking at his pad of paper. Naruto sighs as he has to endure the company of people that don't like him for 3 years. And then he will be put on a team of 3. I'll go down the list of names, so please say here when I call your name. Says Iruka as he flips a page. Iruka calls several names before Naruto sighs. Hinata Hyuga. Calls Iruka, making Naruto perk up and look around. Hinata shyly raises her hand with a wave. Naruto waves at her, making her blush before looking to Iruka. H here. Calls Hinata. Iruka nods and writes something on the pad before widening his eyes at the next name. Then Naruto Uzumaki. Calls Iruka as he scans the area. Everyone looks back to the swing to see Naruto standing with a calm expression befitting his relation to Tobirama Senju. "Here," states Naruto with a composed expression. The parents glare and look away while Naruto shakes his head with folded arms. Hinata looks to him and pokes her fingers together with a smile. Iruka nods stiffly before smiling and looking to his students. "Alright, please follow me," says Iruka as he turns away before walking into the building. Naruto follows before Hinata walks beside him. Naruto turns to her and slightly widens his eyes before smiling. "I am glad you made it," says Naruto with a small smile. Hinata blushes beet red before nodding her head. As the two stick together and converse, Iruka glances back at them. Why did the Hokage allow him to join the academy? Thinks Iruka before sighing. Suddenly another ninja appears beside him, making him smile. "Mizuki, glad you could make it," says Iruka, making the man named Mizuki smile. "Wouldn't want to miss it," says Mizuki as he looks towards Naruto who wears a blank expression. Iruka leads the students to the outside training yard and smiles before looking to them. "Now then, I know you're all only 12, but I want to see what you've been taught," says Iruka, making the students confused. Naruto leans against the trunk of a tree with his eyes closed. "What do you mean, Iruka-sensei?" asks a pink-haired girl named Sakura Haruno. "I want everyone to show their jutsu to us," says Iruka with a smile, making the kids groan. Mizuki laughs before stepping forward. "For now, just show us the basic jutsu," says Mizuki with a smile. "First will be Sasuke Uchiha," says Iruka as a young boy with black hair and coal eyes steps forward while the girls cheer for him. "Show us the clone jutsu." Sasuke forms a ram seal before an identical copy of him appears next to him. "Sasuke-kun," shout the girls making Naruto scoff with a bit of envy at Sasuke's popularity. "Well done, full points," says Mizuki with a smile, making Sasuke grunt. Naruto opens his eyes a little and looks at the boy. According to Tenzo, he is the last of his clan. As the kids complete the task, Iruka looks to Naruto who has his eyes closed. "Naruto Uzumaki, your turn," says Iruka stiffly. Naruto opens his eyes and walks forward, ignoring the stares of his classmates. Hinata looks on nervously. "Good luck, Naruto-kun," thinks Hinata with a blush. Naruto stops in front of the instructors and looks to them. He can feel Iruka's discomfort of him while he feels outright disgust from Mizuki who smiles. "The clone jutsu, right?" asks Naruto in a calm and blunt tone. Iruka nods his head, making Naruto form a ram seal. Mizuki sends out a wave of chakra to disrupt Naruto. In a second Naruto creates a dozen clones across the field, making Iruka's mouth open in surprise, while Mizuki glares. Being taught by Tsunade in the early years of his life, Naruto literally had chakra control beaten into him. Naruto shudders remembering the torture that woman called training. He formed this many clones with a single seal. Thinks Iruka in surprise while Sasuke looks to him with narrowed eyes. "Do I pass or not?" asks Naruto bluntly with his arms folded across his chest. Iruka shakes himself from his thoughts and clears his throat. "Full points," says Iruka, making Naruto walk away. "Why you did very well, Naruto-kun," says Hinata as Naruto looks to her with a raised brow. "Kun?" asks Naruto, making Hinata even blush. Naruto smiles and rubs her head before he walks towards the tree and leans against it. Hinata is beet red and has swirling eyes. Mizuki steps forward and smiles. "Okay, the next jutsu will be the transformation jutsu," says Mizuki with a smile. The kids all pass before Sasuke steps forward. "Turn into me," says Iruka as Sasuke forms a seal and transforms into a perfect copy of Iruka. "Well done, full points again," says Mizuki with a smile before smirking towards Naruto. He glares though when Naruto has his eyes closed. "Uzumaki-kun, is this lesson boring for you?" asks Mizuki as Naruto opens his eyes. He looks to the instructor with his blue eyes. "No, but I see no point in practicing something I already know," says Naruto bluntly, making several kids snicker and Hinata to fret. "Besides, I have heard everything you've said," says Naruto with his blue eyes piercing a hole into Mizuki's head. Iruka looks at Naruto before seeing a leaf on his forehead. Impossible, he did the clone jutsu while doing the leaf concentration practice, thinks Iruka in surprise. Suddenly a small pebble hits Naruto's head, making whisper an ow before he looks to a tree. He sighs and steps forward. Iruka looks to the tree and spots several Anbu watching over the area. "Anbu, those must be his guards," thinks Iruka. "Preform the transformation jutsu," says Mizuki, making Naruto sigh before he gets a gleam in his eyes. The Anbu palm their heads knowing what's going to happen. "Ninpo. Warik no jutsu, ninja art. Sexy jutsu," says Naruto whose voice turns feminine. The smoke clears to show a female Naruto with long red hair and blue eyes. Iruka and Mizuki fly backwards with a nosebleed while giggling is heard from the tree. Naruto uses his hand to brush the hair out of his face and winks before returning to normal. Iruka stands and his head enlarges. "You idiot," shouts Iruka before punching Naruto on his noggin, making Naruto whimper while holding his head. The kids all laugh at the joke with the exception of the girls who glare at Naruto while Hinata blushes. F full points again. Says Iruka with a blush while writing on his paper. Since I am up here, can I just preform the other jutsu? Asks Naruto with a calm tone. Iruka nods his head and steps back. Iruka, allow me. Says Mizuki with a fake smile. Naruto looks to the instructor and scoffs silently. Idiot. Whispers Naruto as he prepares himself for Mizuki to throw with the intent to kill. Alright, I want you to perform the substitution jutsu. Says Iruka as he passes the kunai and shuriken to Mizuki who smiles. I got it. States Naruto bluntly, making Iruka sweat drop. Iruka chuckles sheepishly at his attitude before another pebble hits the side of Naruto's head, making him rub the offended area. Begin. Says Iruka and right when he does, Mizuki tosses the weapons with the intent to kill. However, the weapons hit nothing but a wooden log. Mizuki widens his eyes as Naruto has his arms folded while leaning on the tree the Anbu are at. Mizuki clicks his teeth in irritation. Behave yourself. Whispers a voice, making Naruto look up and spot Nico, Inu, and Tenzo. Tenzo removes his mask and makes his fear face, making Naruto pout and look away. Well done, full points. Says Iruka with a smile at the skill Naruto showed. As the other students pass the test, Iruka smiles and nods. Okay, time for your accuracy test. Says Iruka as he makes the children step up to a table and grab kunai and shuriken. Most of the kids get a passing grade. Sasuke steps forward and grabs shuriken and kunai. He tosses them all and they hit dead on. 10 out of 10, good job Sasuke. Says Iruka as he writes on his paper. Mizuki goes over to the target and watches as Naruto steps forward. Naruto looks to him and smirks before tossing 3 kunai in the air and throwing them. The kunai hit dead on the head of the target, right next to Mizuki who sweats a little. Oh, I'm sorry, my hand slipped. Apologizes Naruto with an innocent smile and laugh. Mizuki glares at Naruto while Iruka passes him the remaining weapons. Naruto throws them all and hits all marks dead on. 10 out of 10, good job Naruto. Compliments Iruka, making Naruto widen his eyes and look to him in shock. Iruka looks at him with a sad face before smiling. He's so shocked, as if he's never received praise from someone before. Thinks Iruka as Naruto walks back to the tree. Naruto has a small smile on his face. Okay guys, time for some sparring. Says Iruka, making Mizuki smile. Mizuki-sensei will be your opponent, says Iruka, making the kids groan. To score full points, you need to either survive for 3 minutes or for extra points, knock Mizuki out of the circle. But Iruka-sensei, Mizuki-sensei is a chunin, how can we beat him? Asks Ino Yamanaka. Mizuki will not be fighting for real, this is simple a mock battle to see where you all stand. Assures Iruka, making the students relax. Mizuki battles all the students he gained decent grades, while others such as Kiba Inuzuka and Hinata Hyuga gain better grades for lasting. Naruto opens his eyes as Sasuke battles Mizuki. Mizuki punches with a right that Sasuke dodges before kicking the chunin in the gut. Mizuki falls back and out of the circle. Mizuki lifts his head up with a fake smile. Well done Sasuke, you've gained extra points. Says Mizuki, making Sasuke grunt and walk away with a smirk. Mizuki looks to Naruto who is already walking forward. Iruka marks something down on his paper and looks to Naruto. Naruto knows that Mizuki will come at him in full force and that will leave him open. Naruto will surprise him with his skill, power and speed. You can begin when you're ready. Says Iruka as Naruto enters a stance with his left leg forward, right leg back, and left arm forward with an open palm facing Mizuki. His right arm is down near his waist and his right hand is balled into a fist. Mizuki comes forward with a straight punch that is blocked by Naruto who sweeps his legs in a quick motion. Mizuki grunts before flipping and straightening himself. Naruto moves forward this time and throws 3 punches. 2 are blocked by Mizuki before the third hits him in the gut, making Mizuki widen his eyes with a gag as he gut caves in from the power of the punch. Acting quickly, he grabs Naruto's arms to gather himself. Naruto headbutts Mizuki who grunts in surprise before Naruto unleashes 3 kicks, one to get Mizuki off the ground, the other to open him up, and the last to kick him back. Naruto runs forward and palms Mizuki's gut, making Mizuki widen his eyes and cough up a bile. Naruto appears under Mizuki within his guard. Mizuki throws a punch to try to get him away. Onmum-ken Tajutsu Kishin Metsuretsu, Yin-Yang Fist Art Tajutsu Chaotic Demon God Destruction. States Naruto calmly as blue chakra surrounds Naruto, and Naruto does a single clockwise spiral to dodge Mizuki's counter before using the momentum to perform a leaping left-handed punch. Mizuki's head is snapped up by the force of the punch and ascends into the sky several feet before he falls in a heap. Yin-Yang Tajutsu is a form of Tajutsu that Naruto developed with the aid of Hiashi and Tsunade. Unable to fully grasp the gentle fist style of fighting, Naruto merged the basics of the gentle fist with his monster strength. This allows Naruto to not only break his enemy's bones, but also cause internal damage with his chakra. That's so strong. Thinks Iruka in surprise. Due to Naruto being raised by Tsunade for a time, he has endured her dodge training and been taught how to increase his already monster strength with chakra. Naruto never thought her dodge training would come in handy, but mostly because he wanted to live and that meant foregoing that torture. But Tsunade would not have it and forcibly trained him. The other students look on with gaping mouths while Hinata blushes with a smile. How did he acquire such power? Thinks Sasuke with narrowed eyes and balled up fists. Mizuki then stands slowly with blood trailing down his lips. Naruto's internal clock says he still has 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Mizuki appears to be seeing double as his stance is off. He then spits out some blood and holds his stomach. That palm. Thinks Mizuki as his gut feels like it's on fire. His brain hasn't recovered from the shock of the punch. Thinks Iruka as he looks on. Mizuki glares with hatred as blood falls down to the ground. He then flashes through hand signs making Naruto and Iruka widen their eyes. Naruto's eyes harden at the sight of hand signs. Mizuki, wait. Shouts Iruka. Mizuki takes a breath with dark eyes. Haten. Bukkake no Jutsu, fire style. Great fireball jutsu. Shouts Mizuki as he breathes out a large fireball befitting the name of the technique. The students gasps at the jutsu before Naruto flashes through hand signs of his own. Mokuton. Makijimiki, wood style. Domed wall jutsu. Shouts Naruto as he slams his hands on the ground. Wooden pillars sprout from the ground from left to right. The wooden pillars join together in a dome shape with Naruto in the center. The fireball hits the wall and detonates, creating a shockwave that forces the students and Iruka to shield their eyes. Smoke and dust is kicked into the air from the attack but begins to fall to show the outcome. The students and Iruka gasp at the sight of Naruto protected by a wooden dome wall. Mokuton, impossible. Thinks Iruka with wide eyes while Sasuke grits his teeth but smirks. Mizuki pants with wide eyes before the wood wall separates and sinks into the ground. That's the first Hokage's jutsu. Says Sakura with wide eyes. Shikamaru Nara looks on before yawning. What a drag, this is going to be a long year. Says Shikamaru while Choji eats chips next to him. Ha. Things are getting good, right Akamaru? Asks a young boy named Kiba in Yuzuka to his dog. Akamaru barks in agreement while Shino Aburam pushes up his glasses. And Naruto-kun, you're amazing. Thinks Hinata with wide eyes. How can he use the first Hokage's jutsu? Asks Ino more to herself than anything. Are we still sparring, Mizuki-sensei? Asks Naruto with narrowed eyes. Mizuki, what do you think you're doing? Demands Iruka with narrowed eyes. Mizuki looks to him with his fake smile. I believed greater force was needed to face Uzumaki-kun, and he proved me right by defending himself from my attack, says Mizuki, before looking to the students who have wide eyes. Remember, shinobi lie, cheat, steal and murder, do not expect them to follow a code of honor. Iruka nods at the statement before looking to Mizuki. Well, that is a good lesson, please refrain from using any more jutsu. This is a simple sparring session, nothing more. Says Iruka, making Mizuki laugh. Of course, well done Uzumaki-kun. Smiles Mizuki, while internally he is livid and astonished that the demon child knows the secret jutsu of the first Hokage. Iruka too is astonished and looks to the Anbu who don't move from their spots. Mizuki enters his stance with his face deforming into a glare. Naruto enters his stance with Mizuki glaring with pure hatred. Seeing as a staring contest will get him nowhere, Naruto moves first, appearing in front of Mizuki within a second, surprising Mizuki who throws a kick towards Naruto's midsection. Naruto catches the kick and smirks before pulling Mizuki forward. He then twists the leg, making Mizuki yell out and lash out with a kick. Naruto blocks the kick but releases the leg. Mizuki flips up and throws a barrage of punches at Naruto, who weaves through and blocks them before hitting Mizuki with a spinning back elbow, right through the barrage of punches. Mizuki holds his nose before Naruto socks him right in the face, making Mizuki fly out of the circle before tumbling to a stop. Winner, Naruto Uzumaki. Says Iruka as Mizuki holds his face and groans on the ground. Naruto stands straight and exhales a breath while pointing both palms towards the ground. He turns and walks back to his spot while Iruka helps up Mizuki who holds his face. Naruto leans against a tree with folded arms. That was amazing, Naruto-kun. Says Hinata as she walks over to him. Naruto looks up and smiles. Really? It was due to the Hyuga clan that I learned my fighting style. Smiles Naruto making Hinata smile with a blush. How did you learn the first Hokage's jutsu? Asks Sasuke after approaching Naruto. Naruto looks to Sasuke before standing straighter. Who knows? Shrugs Naruto with Hinata looking between them. Sasuke and Naruto stare off before Sasuke smirks. Well, it doesn't matter. Says Sasuke as he looks to Naruto and turns away with a grunt. Naruto watches him walk away and smirks. Naruto Uzumaki, you might be able to provide me with a challenge, thinks Sasuke before his eyes harden, but I will surpass everyone and kill Itachi. This is going to be an interesting 3 years, says Naruto, making Hinata blush and poke her fingers together, don't you think, Hinata? Hinata turns beet red at Naruto saying her name. The rest of the day, Naruto had to suffer through academics, but Hinata helped him with some. With school out, Naruto decides to walk a blushing Hinata home. While he is being raised by the Hyuga, he doesn't actually live in the estate. Naruto lives in an apartment right near the Hyuga estate. Thank you, Naruto-kun. Says Hinata as she pokes her fingers. Naruto looks to her and shrugs. It doesn't make sense to walk home alone, given that we live near each other. Says Naruto with a smile. Will you be training with Tusan today? Asks Hinata, making Naruto hum. Not today, I have other training to do. Says Naruto, making Hinata sad. Naruto sees her face and scratches his cheek with a finger. Well, we'll see each other tomorrow. Assures Naruto with a faint blush, making Hinata widen her eyes and smile. Hi. Exclaims Hinata with a smile, making Naruto smile. Hinata runs into her home with a blush, running right by Hiashi, who raises a brow. He then looks outside to see Naruto, and he smiles. Naruto walks towards his home before taking a detour to go into the forest. He waits for several minutes before Tenzo arrives. Nico and Inu right behind him. Naruto folds his arms and pouts. You didn't have to throw rocks at me. Says Naruto, making Nico giggle. For the rest of the year, Naruto remained one of the best in combat, while his academics were among the lowest. Still, he successfully passed his first year with little incident. In terms of combat, Naruto and Sasuke were even throughout the year. Konoha, one of the great ninja villages. It's early morning when the sounds of fighting echoes through the forest. Blurs dash through the trees before the sounds of metal on metal wake the animals of the forest. Flashes of leaf headbands and a single waterfall headband clash multiply times before the Taki ninja falls to the ground. The Kunoichi growls before standing and dashing through the forest. She looks back to see Leaf Anbu in hot pursuit. Damn them. Thinks the Kunoichi as she moves through the forest. She looks to her hand and frowns at the kunai. A piece of paper is wrapped around the kunai. She continues to run before skidding to a stop. She gasps when she looks up to see Anbu standing on the branches with their arms folded, looking down at her. Give it up and come quietly. Says an Anbu with eagle mask. The Kunoichi looks around to see she is surrounded. She then glares at the Anbu before smirking. Don't underestimate the shinobi of Tokigakure. Shouts the Kunoichi as she opens her vest to show dozens of high-grade explosive tags, making the Anbu widen their eyes. Damn. Curses the eagle Anbu as he vanishes in a Shunshin no Jutsu, body flicker jutsu, with the others following. Die. Shouts the Kunoichi as she blows up. The birds in the forest fly into the sky in the wake of the explosion. After the dust settles, the Anbu reappear in a Shunshin. The body of the Kunoichi is not able to be retrieved as the explosion destroyed her. We have to report to Lord Hokage. Says the eagle Anbu as he vanishes with the others following. In a tree with a bird's nest is the kunai the Kunoichi had in her hand. The piece of paper is still attached to it. In another part of the forest, opposite of the battle, is Naruto, who stands panting with a silver sparkling aura around him. However, this is not the power of the Kyuubi, but a technique that Naruto has been developing. Suddenly, Naruto dodges a pair of branches, which sprout from underneath him. He turns and attacks Tenzo, who smirks under his mask. Naruto kicks Tenzo's head right off his shoulders before landing. Naruto pants as Tenzo falls to the ground. Naruto looks to see a wood replacement. Naruto turns and launches a kick that Tenzo barely blocks. The aura around Naruto dissipates and he falls to the ground. I did it. Pants Naruto with a smile before he starts to laugh. Naruto wears a similar outfit from a year ago, but instead of a red undershirt, he wears a black one. He also has a sword on his back. Yes, you did, and as of this moment the jutsu is forbidden. Says a voice, making Naruto look up in shock. He spots Tenzo and Hiashi, who has folded arms and a stern expression. Why? Asks Naruto with narrowed eyes. Hiashi looks at him and sighs. That jutsu is too dangerous and can only be used in times of extreme duress. Says Hiashi with folded arms. Naruto widens his eyes and stands. Jai-chan? Asks Naruto as he folds his arms. Hiashi nods his head. Well, I suppose it is a dangerous jutsu. Says Naruto with a thoughtful expression. Hey, it's time for you to head to the academy. Says Hiashi before he sighs. You too, Hinata. Says Hiashi as an eep is heard from the bushes. Hinata stands from the bushes with a beet red face. Naruto raises a brow before he smiles. Hinata, let's walk to the academy together. Says Naruto with a smile. Hinata widens her eyes before nodding her head. Hi. Says Hinata with a blush and small smile. Hiashi steps forward as Hinata walk ahead of Naruto. Naruto-kun, if you hurt my daughter I'll never forgive you. Says Hiashi seriously. Naruto on the other hand tilts his head. Hurt her? Asks Naruto with a tilted head. Hiashi just looks at him before palming his head. Never mind. says Hiashi as Naruto shrugs and runs to catch up to Hinata. The two converse happily on the way to the academy. Hinata blushes the whole way to the academy while Naruto talks. Arriving at the academy, Naruto spots Shikamaru and smiles. "Boy, Shikamaru," calls Naruto, making the pineapple-haired boy turn in his direction. "Morning, Naruto," greets Shikamaru with a yawn. Naruto slaps him on the back, making the boy shudder and hold his back while Hinata's sweat drops. "Why yeah," says Shikamaru before Choji runs up to the three. He has sparkling eyes, making Naruto raise a brow. "What are you so happy about?" asks Naruto before Choji pulls out a bag of chips while sticking his nose in the air. "Behold, the new flavor of chips," says Choji epically as the sun shines behind him, "honey mustard. And I am the first to try it," says Choji proudly before a crunch is heard, making him open his eyes to see Naruto eating a chip. Not bad," says Naruto as he eats before passing a chip to Hinata who eats it and hums with a blush. "I suppose I should try it," says Shikamaru as Choji's soul comes out of his mouth, comically. Choji snatches his chips away and curls into a ball while crying and I'm tears. The three sweat drop and put their hands up and surrender. Alright, we're sorry," says Naruto with a sweat drop. Naruto walks into the academy with Hinata following. Entering the classroom, Naruto sees Sasuke just sitting down. The two lock eyes and turn their heads away. Naruto sits down with Hinata sitting next to him. "And Naruto-kun, what do you think we'll be doing this year?" asks Hinata with a blush. Naruto hums as Choji and Shikamaru enter the classroom. "We might do some survival training," says Naruto, making Hinata shake a little. Naruto sees this and smiles at her. "Don't worry, I'll protect you," says Naruto, making Hinata blush. Kiba enters the classroom with Akamaru on his head. "Ah, you couldn't even protect yourself," says Kiba, making Naruto turn to him. "Who asked you, dog breath?" states Naruto with a smirk as Kiba growls. Suddenly Kiba stiffens when he hears the sounds of running. Naruto leans back in his chair with his arms folded before Sakura and Ino burst into the classroom. "First," they both call before glaring at each other. Naruto sighs as he waits for class to begin. Hinata stays by his side taking quick glances at him and poking her fingers together with a blush on her face. As the time passes, Iruka steps into the classroom with a smile on his face. "Alright, it is time to start class, so sit down," says Iruka, getting the room to quiet down. Hinata taps Naruto who opens his eyes. Iruka goes over the roll call before smiling. "Today we will be practicing your survival techniques," says Iruka, making Naruto smirk and the other genin to groan. "What do you mean, Iruka-sensei?" asks Sakura. "I mean, you will all be outside in the wild for 1 week," says Iruka with a smile, making Sakura pale. "Oh, outside?" asks Ino with a shudder. "It is a ninja's job to survive even in the harshest of environments," says Iruka, making Kiba laugh. "Finally, something fun to do," says Kiba with Akamaru barking in agreement. Naruto agrees with Kiba as he has been trained in survival. Sasuke simply smirks at the challenge. "This form of training will make some of you quit the academy," says Iruka as he looks at the students gathered. Some of the students gulp while the more powerful remain unfazed. Iruka smiles before putting down his pad of paper. "Then, it is time to leave," says Iruka as the students stand. Naruto looks at those around him and spots Sasuke who appears unfazed. "This will be interesting," says Naruto in a low voice. Hinata looks to him with a head tilt. Says Hinata making Naruto place his palm on her head and rub her head. Hinata blushes at the contact. "This is a test to see if we will cooperate with each other for mutual survival," says Naruto making Hinata widen her eyes. So you figured it out?" asks Shikamaru with his head down. Naruto glances back before smirking. "I assume you realized first," says Naruto. "Who will you team up with?" asks Naruto, making Shikamaru raises his head. "I believe I will stick with Choji and Ino," says Shikamaru. Iruka clears his throat, making the students stop talking. "All of you will be assigned to a team at random," says Iruka, making the kids groan again. Naruto Uzumaki, Amir Shigaraki, and Hinata Hyuga will be on one team. Hinata sighs in relief and blushes, while Naruto looks to his other teammate. Amir is a young boy with violet hair and purple eyes. He has light clothing like Naruto and a tanto on his back. In class he is very quiet and does not interact unless he is called. But Naruto has seen him looking at him from time to time. Amir walks up to Hinata and Naruto and smiles, making Naruto narrow his eyes. "I know we don't know each other, but I look forward to working with you," says Amir with a smile. Hinata bows her head with a smile while Naruto glares at the boy. "Be pleased to meet you," greets Hinata before looking to Naruto. "Naruto-kun," says Hinata, making Naruto looks to her and sigh. He then turns to Amir and sticks out his hand. "Nice to meet you," says Naruto stiffly, making Amir shake his hand with a smile. The two stare at each other for a while before Iruka calls to them. Forest. Iruka had assigned the teams to different places where they would not run into each other. Naruto and his team got a thick forest for their survival training. As they walks through the forest, Naruto feels the woods creeping in on them. He looks back to see Hinata looking around warily, while Amir seems unfazed and holds a smile on his face. "We should look for shelter," says Naruto, as that was the first thing Inu taught him. "It would have to shield us from the elements while also provide us with a strategic position," says Amir with a smile. "It should also be located near a river," says Hinata, as they need water to survive. "We split up, Hinata, check for water, Amir, check for vantage points, and I will check for a place in the middle of what you find," says Naruto, making the two nod and vanish in a shunshin. Naruto jumps to the trees and looks for a place the team can take shelter. He leans down and touches the tree branch he is on before closing his eyes. 2 kilometers to water, 1 kilometer to the open field we saw. This should do," says Naruto as he stands and jumps down. He stands in front of the tree before weaving hand signs. "Mokuton. Sara no Kai, wood style. Hollow tree," says Naruto as a tree grows right in front of him. The tree grows while becoming hollow throughout. The tree stops growing and Naruto steps inside. He looks it over and smiles. "This should do," says Naruto before folding his arms. "Right, Amir?" asks Naruto without glancing back. Amir stands behind Naruto with a smile on his face. "Nicely done, we have good shelter," says Amir as he continues smiling. "Wipe that stupid grin off your face," says Naruto as he turns to Amir. "It doesn't fool me." Amir continues smiling before it slowly falls and he opens his eyes. "That's good, I was getting tired of putting that on," says Amir in a monotone voice. "Who are you?" asks Naruto with his guard up. Amir simply looks at him for a second. "Amir," says Amir, making Naruto click his teeth. "But I assume you want to know why I am here," states Amir, making Naruto nod his head. "It is my mission," states Amir simply, making Naruto narrow his eyes. "I am your mission?" asks Naruto, making Amir quiet. The birds cry in the forest before Naruto narrows his eyes and scoffs. "Brute, huh?" states Naruto as he closes his eyes, making Amir's brow twitch in surprise, but his face remains the same. "Souten Karolupu theme, if you've come to take me away," says Naruto as he slowly opens his eyes and his muscles tense. "You should have brought some of your friends." Amir tenses as well before the ground begins to slightly crack between the two. "I thought the same thing when I first saw you," says Amir as the two continue to stare off. "And yet here you are," says Naruto with narrowed eyes. "I was hoping we could just talk," says Amir as Naruto looks at him. "Then start talking," states Naruto as his fists ball up and his knuckles crack. "My mission is to simply watch and report back," says Amir as he prepares for the worst. "I have no intention of causing you harm." "Really? And why should I believe you?" asks Naruto before Amir reaches for something in his pockets, making Naruto narrow his eyes. "My orders," says Amir as he passes them to Naruto, who quickly reads them. Naruto looks up from the papers and thinks. "I left myself intentionally open since we got into this forest," thinks Naruto as he looks at Amir. He could have attacked at one of those moments but didn't. "Song stop." "Very well," says Naruto as he eases up. The two stand straighter but still have their guards up. "If that is the case, then I propose we pass this test," says Naruto with a smile. Amir smiles as well, but is forced and not natural since he was trained by Root. Hinata peeks her head inside the tree. "Then Naruto-kun?" asks Hinata, making Naruto turn to her. "Is this our shelter?" asks Hinata as she walks in while looking around. She then turns to her two teammates and tilts her head. "Is everything okay?" asks Hinata, making Naruto smile reassuringly. "Never better, let's set up our camp," says Naruto as he walks by Amir. The first 6 days go by relatively quick for Naruto's team. They have done well to set up a hunting ground and even made a small bath for Hinata. Amir has kept his word about not attacking Naruto, which has made Naruto more relaxed around him. On the finale day of the training, the group have been training together. It is near night when 3 blurs dash through the trees near Naruto's camp. Naruto lands on a branch and spots a wild boar. He looks around before spotting Amir, who nods his head. Hinata nods her head in his direction with a kunai out. Naruto reaches and pulls out a sharp branch made from his mokuton. "Now!" shouts Naruto as Amir throws 2 kunai and misses purposely, scaring the boar. The boar runs with Naruto on its tail. "Hinata!" shouts Naruto as Hinata cuts a rope and the boar is pulled from the ground. Naruto quickly stabs the boar and exhales a breath. Amir jumps down and smiles. "Well done, we got dinner for our last day," says Amir as Hinata jumps next to Naruto. "We got a big one this time," says Hinata with a soft smile. Naruto laughs before he spots a glint in a tree. He jumps up, making Amir and Hinata confused. "Then Naruto-kun?" asks Hinata as Naruto rustles through something. He then pulls out a kunai with a paper attached to it. "Hey, look what I found," says Naruto as the three gather around the kunai. "What is it?" Asks Hinata while Amir looks closely. It appears to have been left here. Says Amir, making Naruto nod his head. Why though? Asks Naruto as he unwraps the paper. He widens his eyes at the writing before they narrow. Our village was under surveillance. Says Naruto, making his team gasp. I heard a rumor that a battle occurred here a couple of days ago, before our assignment. Says Amir with his arms folded. So the enemy must have left this here. Says Naruto as he looks at the paper. What should we do? Asks Hinata as Naruto thinks. We should turn it in. Says Naruto before Amir looks to him. If we exit the forest we'll be disqualified from the exercise. Says Amir, making Naruto think. Unknown to the three students, three blurs are fast approaching their position. The three blurs are Taki Kunoichi who wear stoic faces, but their anger is all in their eyes. The three dash across the branches with haste. They think she lost. Says one Kunoichi with gritted teeth. Enough, we need to focus. Says another Kunoichi. We get the info, we will avenge her. Says the last Kunoichi before the lead Kunoichi stops. The others land right next to her. The lead Kunoichi sees a glint in the forest and spots Naruto and his group. At kunai, says the lead Kunoichi with narrowed eyes, the secret documents. She must have placed it in that nest before she was defeated. Says another Kunoichi with narrowed eyes at the kids. Naruto snaps his eyes wide as he feels three presences. Naruto-kun. Says Hinata noticing Naruto stiffen. We're not alone. Says Naruto making his team widen their eyes. Naruto then pinpoints their location. What do we do? Asks Amir while looking around. Naruto looks to them and gives them a discreet message. The two nod before vanishing in a shunshin, making the Kunoichi widen their eyes. Don't let the red-haired boy escape. Shouts the leader as they give chase. Naruto looks back to see the Kunoichi right on him. Naruto smirks and looks forward. Can you keep up? Asks Naruto before he lands on a branch only to propel right off, cracking the branch. He's fast. Thinks the lead Kunoichi as they pick up the pace. As Naruto is pursued, Amir and Hinata leave the forest to find Iruka. In Hinata's hand is the documents. Naruto dashes off the trees with the Kunoichi trailing him. Enough of this. Thinks the lead Kunoichi as she takes out several kunai. She throws them quickly at Naruto whose ears twitch in response. Naruto draws his katana and blocks the weapon skillfully before landing in a crouch, in a clearing. The three Kunoichi land in front of him. Not bad, brat. Says the lead Kunoichi making Naruto enter a stance. Who the hell are you guys? Asks Naruto as he looks at each of them. Hand over the kunai you found. Says the lead ninja, making Naruto grab the kunai in his pouch. No way, finders keepers. Says Naruto childishly, making the Kunoichi grit their teeth. Naruto though is only stalling for time so Hinata and Amir can get help. It will take them about an hour to get out of the forest and then another hour for help to arrive. Thinks Naruto as he looks in the direction the two went. You seem distracted. Says a voice in Naruto's ear, making him widen his eyes. One of the Kunoichi have gotten behind him. The Kunoichi all take off their masks while the one behind Naruto licks his cheek. You are a cutie. Says the Kunoichi before Naruto ducks and sweeps her legs. The Kunoichi rights herself quickly before Naruto rushes forward and punches her stomach. The Kunoichi gasps and coughs up a bile with blood before flying back into a tree trunk, caving it in. I know but please refrain from lewd acts against me, says Naruto as he holds his katana in front of himself while not denying his attractiveness. A certain granny would kill me and you if she found out. Brat. Growls the lead Kunoichi before the Kunoichi that Naruto hit stands and giggles. And not to worry, says the Kunoichi as she shows the kunai in her grasp while holding her stomach, making Naruto widen his eyes and check his pouch. He allowed me to get too close. Nice work. Says the lead ninja before the kunai vanishes in a puff of smoke. The Kunoichi all widen their eyes. Oh man, looks like the jig is up. Says Naruto as he crouches on a tree branch overlooking the clearing. You. Growls the silver-haired Kunoichi in anger. Where is the kunai? Demands a Kunoichi with narrowed eyes. It's being delivered to my sensei who will then mobilize the village and come after you guys. Says Naruto calmly, making the Kunoichi growl. You brat. Shouts one of the Kunoichi before the silver-haired one holds out her arm. He's bluffing, says the leader with a smile. He went through all of this because he knows that his little friends need time to get away. So we can still get the documents. Says one Kunoichi with a smile. Yeah, if we hurry we'll catch the other two in no time. Says the Kunoichi that licked Naruto's face. Suddenly the three block a barrage of shuriken from above. They look up to see Naruto with narrowed eyes. You'll have to go through me. Says Naruto with a serious tone. The Kunoichi glare at the red-haired boy. Souten Karalupu theme, fine, show no mercy. Shouts the silver-haired leader. Two Kunoichi attack Naruto from opposite sides, making Naruto jump to dodge. The two Kunoichi lock swords and look up at Naruto who lands on their interlocked swords. Konoha Rick. Mikazuka Jiri, Leaf Style. Crescent Moon Beheading. says Naruto as he swings his sword in a single, large crescent moon-shaped arc, which occurs with such ferocious velocity that the kunoichi have barely enough time to react. In a flash their heads come off. However, Naruto's victory is short-lived as he soon learns they used a substitution to evade the attack. "You little brat," growls the two kunoichi who each have a cut on their face. "I missed," says Naruto with a click of his teeth. He widens his eyes when the silver-haired kunoichi attacks from behind. Naruto blocks the sword with his own before the two engage in a flurry of blows before locking blades on the ground. "You're pretty good for your age," says the kunoichi before smiling. "But," says the lead kunoichi as the other two attack from behind, "you're still going to die." The two kunoichi stab their swords into Naruto's side, making Naruto cough up blood. "Too bad, you were so cute too," says the kunoichi that licked Naruto. However, three pairs of eyes widen when they see a wood replacement. Would think all three kunoichi. "Lokutan. Hitsuga Ida, wood style. Sprouting branches," shouts Naruto as branches sprout from the ground and cut into the kunoichi who shield themselves. The silver-haired kunoichi is hit in the gut with a blunt branch and flies back. Naruto dashes forward and runs on top of the branches he made to attack the two kunoichi, who deflect his sword and kick him back. Naruto flips in the air before ducking under a swing and wrapping his legs around the kunoichi's neck. The second kunoichi appears behind him, so he grabs her with his arms and spins, sending both falling to the ground. "Enough," shouts the silver-haired ninja as she calls the two to come next to her. "Ninpo. Jinei Tajk Shuriken, Ninja Art. Multi-Phantom Shuriken Jutsu," shout all three kunoichi as they release a barrage of shuriken, making Naruto widen his eyes and form several hand signs. "Lokutan. Makijimiki, wood style. Domed wall jutsu," shouts Naruto as the interlocking wall appears as a defense. The shuriken hit the wall and do nothing to it but bounce off or stick to it. "Shit," curses one of the kunoichi in anger as she looks on. "That kid," says the leader, making the other two look to her. "He holds the jutsu of the first Hokage." "Yeah, but it won't save him," says a kunoichi with narrowed eyes. "We're going to capture him," says the leader, making the other two look to her. "His body holds the secret to wood style," says the leader as she smirks. Naruto puts down his wood wall and looks at the kunoichi who glare at him. "Live it up, kid," says the silver-haired kunoichi, "and we'll make sure you will live your final moments in peace. After our village dissects you for study," adds her fellow kunoichi. "Since you ask so nicely," says Naruto sarcastically, making the kunoichi smirk. "Well, one way or another," says the leader before charging forward, "you're coming with us." Before they can get close, the branch is littered with kunai. "Who did that?" demands the silver-haired kunoichi as she looks up to see Sasuke looking down at them. "Looks like you need help, loser," says Sasuke as he looks at Naruto who scoffs. "As if I need help from you, jerk," says Naruto as he stands straight. "Well, since I'm already here, I'll cut in to help regardless," says Sasuke in his usual tone. Naruto scoffs with a hidden smirk. "Suit yourself," says Naruto as Sasuke appears next to him. The two students stare off with the three kunoichi. End song. The wind blows through the forest, making the leaves fly on their branches. Two blurs dodge through the leaves at high speeds. In front is Hinata, who dashes from tree branch to tree branch with Amir following behind. The two have been moving non-stop since they left Naruto to hold off the kunoichi. Finally, the two are nearly out of the forest. "Hinata, up ahead," shouts Amir as Hinata sees the evening light breaking into the forest. With a surge of chakra, Hinata dashes out of the trees and skids to a stop. Iruka has been outside the forest since the beginning of the survival test and widens his eyes at the sight of Hinata and Amir. "Iruka-sensei," calls Hinata before explaining the situation and handing him the documents. Iruka grits his teeth and looks to Amir. "Amir, you give this to Lord Hokage," orders Iruka before looking to Hinata who pants. "Hinata, you stay here," says Iruka making Hinata widen her eyes. "And no, I'm coming with you," says Hinata, taking a stand, surprising Iruka and Amir. "Besides, you don't know the way." Iruka sighs before rubbing his head. "Ah, forget it, show me the way," exclaims Iruka as Hinata nods her head and takes off. Iruka follows while Amir heads to the Hokage residence. Iruka trails behind Hinata who hurries to the location. Iruka looks up at the fading sun and clicks his teeth. "Damn it," curses Iruka, making Hinata look back to him. "Iruka-sensei," says Hinata, making Iruka look to her. "I was told that a battle occurred near the place I sent you three, but I was assured that the enemy was defeated," says Iruka, disappointed in himself for sending his students into danger. "Because of me, Naruto is in danger," says Iruka while Hinata looks at him with no idea what to say before she giggles. "Hinata," says Iruka as he looks at her giggling face. "Sorry, it's just I was thinking what Naruto-kun would say if he saw you like this," says Hinata with a smile while Iruka's sweat drops and thinks. He sees an image of Naruto with folded arms and a stern gaze. "Idiot, it is the job of us ninja to take on dangerous missions when no one else can," says Naruto with a calm expression. So stop feeling sorry for yourself and get to work. States Naruto bluntly as Iruka sweat drops and laughs sheepishly. Yeah, he would definitely say something like that. Chuckles Iruka with a smile. Hinata giggles and nods her head with a hum. Iruka hardens his eyes and the two pick up the pace. I just hope nothing bad happens. Thinks Iruka with some sweat running down his face. The two dash through the forest as the sun goes down. Naruto asked one bad situation. Naruto and Sasuke stand side by side as the three Kunoichi stand side by side. The stare down continues as the two younger ninja hold their weapons. Sasuke has a Chikudo strapped to the back of his waist. How did you find me? Asks Naruto as he glances at Sasuke who glances at him. I heard the commotion from my camp and decide to investigate. States Sasuke as the three Kunoichi glare at the newcomer. Where did this brat come from? Growls a Kunoichi with short light brown hair. My, this village sure knows how to make cute young boys. Says the Kunoichi with long dark brown hair. It doesn't matter, says the silver-haired Kunoichi with narrowed eyes, since we lost the documents, we take the red-haired boy as compensation. The other two Kunoichi nod at the words while Naruto hums. Well, I guess we should start this. Says Sasuke as he looks to the Kunoichi with Naruto sighing. Just don't get in my way, says Naruto before glancing at Sasuke, if you do I can't guarantee I won't kill you by accident. Sasuke glances at Naruto as the tension rises. Funny, I was about to tell you the same thing. Says Sasuke before he smirks, making Naruto smirk. The two groups narrow their eyes before the silver-haired Kunoichi looks to Sasuke. I'm guessing you won't turn around and leave. States the silver-haired Kunoichi as Sasuke looks to her. Not a chance. Says Sasuke, making the silver-haired Kunoichi sigh. Fine then, says the silver-haired Kunoichi before glaring at Sasuke, you'll just have to die. End song. Well then, says Sasuke as he draws his Shikudo and enters a stance, shall we? The silver-haired Kunoichi snaps her eyes wide with strains converging on the pupils. She flashes through hand signs. Naruto asked heavy violence. Heitan Rinka Jutsu, fire style. Synergy Jutsu, says the silver-haired Kunoichi as the two others follow her lead and weave hand signs. Naruto and Sasuke widen their eyes, Karura, Garuda. The three Kunoichi each breathe a long stream of intense fire, which combine to form a flaming dragon. Sasuke narrows his eyes and flashes hand signs before looking to Naruto. Naruto. Shouts Sasuke making Naruto click his teeth and flash through hand signs. Don't order me around. Says Naruto as the two breathe in. Heitan. Nkakik no Jutsu, fire style. Great Fireball Jutsu. Shouts Sasuke as he breathes out a large fireball at the incoming fire dragon. Ton. Datapa, wind style. Great Breakthrough. Shouts Naruto as he exhales a strong gust of wind that picks up dust in its path. Sasuke's fireball becomes empowered by Naruto's wind jutsu and creates a blazing inferno. The two jutsu meet and cause a blinding explosion that kicks up dirt and rocks. The forest shakes from the blast as Iruka and Hinata widen their eyes. Naruto-kun. Shouts Hinata as she moves faster. The rocks fall from the sky as the three Kunoichi stand unharmed with the silver-haired Kunoichi looking on. The forest is burning now from the attack with several trees on fire. The three widen their eyes when the dust clears and they see no sign of the two boys. Where did those brats go? Asks the light brown-haired Kunoichi as she looks around. Did they flee? Asks the dark brown-haired Kunoichi before the silver-haired Kunoichi looks up. Above us. Shouts the Kunoichi as Naruto and Sasuke come down with their weapons. The three Kunoichi separate. The silver-haired Kunoichi evades by jumping forward, while the light brown-haired Kunoichi evades by dodging to the right, and finally the dark brown-haired Kunoichi evades by dodging to the left. Naruto and Sasuke slam their swords down on the branch before Naruto glances back at the silver-haired Kunoichi. Damn brats. Growls the silver-haired Kunoichi before landing on a branch and jumping at them. Naruto throws a kunai at the Kunoichi who scoffs. Not good enough. Shouts the Kunoichi as Naruto smirks. A close-up of the kunai shows a sealing formula on the handle that glows before the kunai separates into 4 kunai, all attached with chakra. What? Shouts the silver-haired Kunoichi in surprise as she is wrapped with the kunai and falls to the ground after hitting several branches. She groans and attempts to move, but she is electrocuted by the chakra strings wrapped around her. Damn it. Curses the silver-haired Kunoichi as she reaches for a kunai and begins to slowly cut the rope. Looking from above is Naruto who looks to Sasuke. End song. It won't hold her forever, says Naruto making Sasuke nod his head as they both turn to the two Kunoichi. We need to finish these two. I'll take the one with the long hair. Says Sasuke, making Naruto nod his head. Good, she's a bit weird. Says Naruto as she remembers the woman licking him. The two nod and dash at their opponents. Souten Karo Lupu theme, come on. Shouts the light brown-haired Kunoichi as she throws several shuriken at the incoming Naruto. Naruto skillfully evades and weaves through the barrage of shuriken while blocking them. The branch begins to crack as Naruto moves. This branch won't hold. thinks Naruto as he dashes closer to the kunoichi. He looks around and sees a dead tree that has yet to be touched by the fire. The tree just so happens to be behind the kunoichi. That'll do, thinks Naruto as he gets closer to the kunoichi. The kunoichi sees him getting close and pulls out her sword. She swings but Naruto ducks and grabs her legs before pulling her down and over him. In the maneuver, Naruto gets on top and punches the kunoichi in the face as the two slide on the unstable branch. Naruto raises both hands and brings them down, but the kunoichi sees it coming and blocks. As she does, the two fall right off the branch. In midair, the kunoichi punches Naruto before Naruto grabs her head and slams her into the trunk of the dead tree. Bastard! Growls the kunoichi. She pulls out her sword and thrust. Naruto evades the sword and attacks with his own, but the kunoichi parries. The two slams against the inside of the tree as Naruto realizes for the first time it is hollow. Naruto parries a strike before the two slam into the trunk and break through the trunk. The two ninja land on a branch with several groans. The kunoichi quickly stands and throws several shuriken before forming a ram seal. The shuriken multiply, making Naruto click his teeth and block them with his sword. Too many, thinks Naruto before he looks down to see a hollowed out hole in the tree. Naruto evades and slides off the branch and into the hole as the kunoichi looks down the hole. In the hole Naruto is having a tough time as the smoke is suffocating him. His eyes begin to hurt really badly and he loses his grip on the surface and falls deeper. He quickly latches onto the wall with chakra to stop his fall. He enters a coughing fit as the smoke assaults him. It gets to the point where Naruto can't even open his eyes. This is bad, says Naruto as he coughs and rubs his eyes. My eyes. Naruto thinks back to the lessons from Hiashi. End song, flashback. Naruto sits in front of Hiashi who looks to him with a stern face. The two have been training non-stop and Naruto has yet to win a single match against the superior man. Naruto, why do you think I win all the matches we fight? Asks Hiashi as Naruto looks to him. You are more experienced and you also have the Byakugan, states Naruto, but Hiashi sighs. It is true that I have more experience than you, but, says Hiashi as he looks to Naruto, the Byakugan is not the reason for my victory. Naruto becomes confused at the statement. What do you mean? Asks Naruto with a curious expression. The difference between us is I don't just use my eyes to see, says Hiashi, further confusing Naruto. You don't use your eyes to see? Asks Naruto with a tilted head. Use your senses Naruto, says Hiashi as he stands, making Naruto stand. Don't trust your eyes, they can deceive you. The lights in the room go out, making Naruto look around. Wait, I can't see. How am I supposed to fight? Asks Naruto to the darkness. Naruto is suddenly hit from behind, making him groan. He gets up and enters a stance. Your senses are far greater than those around you, says Hiashi as his voice echoes in the shadows. You can smell, taste and feel your opponents. I don't know how to do any of that, exclaims Naruto, a bit of his mother's attitude breaking through. Focus, Naruto, says Hiashi as he hits Naruto 3 times before Naruto swings and misses. Naruto looks around but sees nothing but darkness. Naruto closes his eyes and begins to focus on his other senses. He uses his ears and picks up the slight sound of floorboards creaking. He then uses his sense of feel to feel the slight tremors of movement in the ground. Finally he uses his nose to sniff out his opponent. All of these combined paint a picture of Hiashi moving towards him. However, the picture is like an X-ray and he sees the chakra pathways of Hiashi. Defend! Shouts Hiashi as he thrusts with a palm and widens his eyes when Naruto blocks it. Hiashi attacks again with a flurry of japs, pokes and palms. Naruto blocks or evades the blows while attacking. Naruto pulls back his fist and throws a right that Hiashi blocks with both hands. Naruto tilts his head and applies more power. Naruto's fist emits a low burst of intense chakra that stuns Hiashi as Naruto punches him back. Hiashi falls to the ground before looking up to see Naruto's foot in front of his face. Well done, says Hiashi as he stands and the lights come back on. Hiashi smiles when he sees the bulging veins around Naruto's closed eyes. Naruto opens his eyes and the veins vanish, but Hiashi sees the trademark pupils of the Byakugan before they vanish. Always remember Naruto, use your other senses to see your opponents, says Hiashi as Naruto bows his head. Flashback over. Naruto Ost 1 Naruto main theme. Naruto holds onto the wall before closing his eyes. He drowns out the nose from the fire and creaking tree. He focuses his hearing on the breathing of the kunoichi. He sniffs the air and filters out the smoke to smell the kunoichi. As he does this, the veins around his eyes bulge before becoming more prominent. Byakugan! Shouts Naruto as he opens his eyes. Naruto looks around with his new eyes and takes in the wonderful sight of nearly 360 degrees. He sees Sasuke battling his opponent and they seem even in combat. He looks around some more and spots the silver-haired kunoichi still struggling to cut the chakra wire. His eyes then show all these images at once while Naruto tilts his head. He stretches his senses further and spots Iruka and Hinata running to this location. Naruto looks up with a smirk at his newfound sight. Above him stands the kunoichi who looks through the hole. "Slippery little bastard," says the kunoichi before she sees the light reflect off of something. She widens her eyes and lifts her head just in time to evade a single kunai. The kunai goes straight up before losing momentum and pointing down. At that moment the kunai separates into dozens of kunai and the kunoichi realizes they all have paper bombs on them. "Son of a bitch," shouts the kunoichi before looking to the hole and growling. She jumps down the hole as the kunai explode above her. "Where are you?" asks the kunoichi. Naruto pulls himself up and flips before channeling chakra into his feet and launching up the hollow trunk. The wood beneath him cracks from the force. The kunoichi looks around before she spots Naruto coming towards her like a rocket. "Oh shit," shouts the kunoichi as Naruto spears her back up and through the explosion and smoke. The back of the kunoichi's flak jacket is burned and smoking as they both land on the branch. Naruto mounts her and throws several punches that make the kunoichi cover herself up. She finally reverses their positions by grabbing Naruto's arm and flipping him on his side. She mounts him and raises her sword, but Naruto sees it coming. "Onmamken. Tenketsushin, yin-yang fist art. Chakra point needle," states Naruto as delivers a barrage of two-finger strikes at the kunoichi. Despite only using two fingers to attack, Naruto using his enhanced strength, smiles when he hears the breaking of several bones. The kunoichi screams out in pain as her bones break. "Fly away," says Naruto as he unleashes a double palm to the kunoichi's gut. The sound of cracked ribs makes the kunoichi yell out as she flies back. The woman rolls to a stop before spitting up blood. Naruto stands and unsheathes his katana from his back. He holds up a ram seal in front of his face. "Konoha Rick. Kumadajakm, leaf style. Hazy moonlight," states Naruto as he swings his sword in a circular motion, leaving a trace of afterimages behind. This jutsu was created by studying Nico's Hazy Moon Night and Hate's Moonlight. Naruto has created a form that makes his sword difficult to follow as well as himself. The kunoichi stands but her body is not responding correctly, making her growl as blood leaks down her mouth. "What's going on?" thinks the kunoichi as her body is having a delayed reaction. Unknown to her, when Naruto attacked her with Tenketsushin, he also disabled the flow of chakra and slowed the signals from the brain to certain regions of her body. She pulls out her sword and growls before dashing forward as fast as she can, but to Naruto, she is full of openings with her body not responding correctly or fast enough. Naruto dashes forward with immense speed, leaving an afterimage trailing behind him. "Die," shouts the kunoichi as she swings, but Naruto was already sliding in a 180-degree spin. "Konoha Rick. Hyaku Hachi Jujiri, leaf style. 180 slice," says Naruto as he is crouched while facing the kunoichi's back. Due to hazy moonlight and Tenketsushin, the kunoichi could not follow Naruto and his sword or react in time. End song. Naruto stands and sheathes his sword as the kunoichi shrieks as blood spurts from her wound. She stabs her sword into the tree trunk to keep herself up while Naruto looks to her. Naruto notices the branch is unstable as the fire burns it. "IW will not lose to some brat," growls the kunoichi as she turns around while using her sword as a crutch. "Give it up," says Naruto as he knows she can't fight anymore. "The longer you continue to fight, the more pain you will be in." Naruto can see the bones her broke and the bleeding of her wound. The woman takes a step forward, making Naruto narrow his eyes. He hears and sees the cracking of the branch. "Stop any more and you won't survive," says Naruto as the kunoichi still moves forward. "You've lost," says Naruto as the kunoichi stops and looks at him before her eyes turn to fury. "Brarg," growls the kunoichi as she jumps at Naruto who backflips and lands in a crouch. The kunoichi lands and the branch snaps under her, making her eyes widen. She then looks to Naruto who widens his eyes before she falls and is consumed by the flames on the forest floor. Naruto turns his head away with sigh before turning his attention to Sasuke who appears to be having trouble. Sasuke pants with blood running down his face and minor cuts on his body. His opponent isn't faring any better as she has blood running down her arms and face. "I've gotten sick of you, boy," says the kunoichi with narrowed eyes as she stands straighter. Sasuke smirks and places his sword in front of him. "I've been sick of you," says Sasuke as the kunoichi narrows her eyes. The kunoichi sheathes her sword and smirks. "Very well then," says the kunoichi as Sasuke narrows his eyes, "I guess I'll show you terror. Is that right?" says Sasuke with a sarcastic tone as the kunoichi smirks and blushes before looking her fingers. "I love it when boys like you scream out in horror and beg me to end it," cries the kunoichi with a lustful look in her eyes. "You're very sick," says Sasuke as he dashes forward. The kunoichi flashes through a couple of hand signs before Sasuke's vision becomes blurry. "Leijin. Shin no Jigoku, demonic illusion. True hell," says the kunoichi while licking her lips. Within the Jinjutsu, Sasuke relives the worst night of his life. But instead of being a spectator, he is the victim. Everyone killed that night, Sasuke takes their place and experiences the emotions of someone about to die over and over again. Ah! Shouts Sasuke while writhing on the ground as he holds his head. The kunoichi blushes as she gets off on his screams. Yes, just like that. Shouts the kunoichi as Naruto lands on a branch overlooking the area. He widens his eyes when he sees Sasuke yelling out. Within the genjutsu, Sasuke thinks about asking for it to stop with blank eyes before the sound of faint yelling reaches his ears. He follows the yells to a room where he spots the dead bodies of his parents and Itachi standing over them with his Sharingan blazing. "Foolish, little brother," says Itachi, making Sasuke widen his eyes before they slowly narrow in rage. The walls within the genjutsu begin to crack and Sasuke snaps his eyes open to show a fully matured Sharingan. "Wake up, Dumbus," shouts Naruto as Sasuke stands and glares at Naruto. The kunoichi widens her eyes at the boy standing. "Shut up, loser," says Sasuke with his Sharingan active. Sasuke then looks to the kunoichi who stands with wide eyes. How did you? Starts the kunoichi before her vision distorts. She suddenly is reliving the worst day of her life. She screams as various men converge on her. Outside the genjutsu, Sasuke and Naruto stand looking down at her. "She's still alive?" asks Naruto with folded arms. "Yeah, but her mind is gone," says Sasuke as he sheathes his sword. Sasuke looks at Naruto's eyes while Naruto looks at his. "Your eyes are weird," says Sasuke, making a tick mark appear on Naruto's head. "Like you're one to talk, you jerk," growls Naruto with some of his mother side coming out again. Suddenly the snapping of a branch makes the two look over their shoulders with a blank stare. Standing on a branch is the silver-haired kunoichi who looks positively murderous. You, rants the silver-haired kunoichi as Naruto and Sasuke simply look at her blankly. "You worthless little brats," shouts the silver-haired kunoichi as she draws two swords and attacks. She clashes with both the boys and they skillfully attack each other with kenjutsu. Sasuke parries a strike before Naruto kicks the kunoichi back. The kunoichi flips and tosses shuriken that multiply. Naruto slams his hands together and a group of roots sprout from the ground to block the shuriken. As the roots go down, the kunoichi dashes forward. However, she widens her eyes when she sees Sasuke inhaling air. Naruto produces several shuriken with a smile on his face. The shuriken float next to him as he weaves hand signs. "On. Kaiten shuriken, wind style. Rotating shuriken," says Naruto as he infuses wind nature chakra into the shuriken, which fly towards the kunoichi. "Kaiten. Msenka no jutsu, fire style. Phoenix flower jutsu," says Sasuke as he blows out several small fireballs that overlap Naruto's shuriken. The kunoichi skids to a stop as the fireballs reach her. The explosion rocks the area again as Naruto and Sasuke look on. Naruto looks up and spots the kunoichi flying out of the smoke cloud. She has several shuriken in her shoulders and burn marks over her body. The kunoichi growls before flashing through hand signs in a pattern that makes Sasuke widen his eyes. "Naruto, water," shouts Sasuke, making Naruto glare at him. "Give me an order again and I'll deal with you first," says Naruto as he dashes in front of Sasuke and weaves three hand signs. "Kaiten. Rika no jutsu, fire style. Dragon flame jutsu," shouts the kunoichi as she breathes out a stream of fire. "Suiten. Sujin heki, water style. Water wall," says Naruto as he blows out a large wall of water that rises forward. The two attacks collide and steam blows into the three. Iruka looks up to see water falling from the sky and spots the water wall. "There," shouts Hinata as Iruka moves forward. The steam disperses as Sasuke and Naruto look to the kunoichi who seems to have become even angrier. "Naruto-kun," shouts a voice, making Naruto behind the kunoichi to see Hinata and Iruka. "Hinata, Iruka-sensei," says Naruto before he widens his eyes when the kunoichi turns and throws several kunai with explosive tags. "Hinata, dodge them," shouts Naruto, but the tags go off and engulf Iruka and Hinata. Sasuke and Naruto vanish in a shunshin with Naruto catching Hinata and Sasuke catching Iruka. Hinata is barely breathing while Iruka coughs. Naruto grips his hands tight and glares at the kunoichi who decides to attack. "It's over," shouts the kunoichi before Naruto turns and dodges the sword strike. He then slams his fist right into the face of the kunoichi. The face caves in before she is sent flying back and through several trees. The trail can be seen from above the trees before she stops after hitting a boulder. The kunoichi coughs up some blood while her nose bleeds and her face is disfigured. Naruto turns of his Byakugan and looks to Hinata who breathes shallowly. "Hinata," says Naruto before he takes of his ninja gauntlets and presses her hand to her mouth. "Hinata, I need you to bite me." Hinata looks up weakly and coughs but can't bite down. "Hinata," says Naruto with some worry before he clicks his teeth, "don't be mad, but this is the only way." Naruto then kisses Hinata, making Sasuke raise a brow. Hinata feels something warm on her lips and her body begins to heal. What is this?" thinks Hinata before she opens her eyes to see her favorite redhead kissing her. Hinata's face and body turn as red as Naruto's hair. Naruto opens his eyes and sees Hinata before letting go of the kiss. He has a small barely noticeable blush on his face as he looks away. Ahem, it seems you're better. Says Naruto as steam rises from Hinata's head. Now before you say anything I want to defend myself by saying it was the only way to save you. Rants Naruto with a faint blush. Hinata continues to steam as Naruto talks before she says something she can't take back. Though she is not in her right mind after Naruto kissed her. Then Naruto-kun. Calls Hinata in a shout, making Naruto flinch. What's wrong? Asks Naruto while trying to avoid eye contact. Well, I was wondering if Yokuljatatheferux festivalitham. Says Hinata, really fast. Naruto looks at her before looking to Sasuke who smirks his cocky grin. If he weren't in such a position, Naruto would sock that smirk right of his face. Starts Naruto as he begins to sweat like he was in a written exam, the fireworks festival huh? Well I guess. The last part was in a whisper. Hinata turns beet red before fainting. Oi, Hinata. Shouts Naruto as he holds her. Haruka looks on with a smile while Sasuke folds his arms over his chest. The Anbu arrive on the scene and take the Kunoichi away. Two are still alive while the third is burned badly. Naruto looks to the sky and sighs. I have no idea how to have a date. Says Naruto while rubbing the back of his head. At the gates of Konoha, Kitetsu and Izumo sit wide-eyed on their watch. Well, not exactly as the two are sleeping. Kitetsu has long, spiky black hair and dark eyes. He has a strip of bandage running across the bridge of his nose and a light-colored marking on his chin. He also wears a standard Chunin flak jacket. Izumo has brown hair and dark eyes. His hair is combed down and always covers his right eye. He wears his forehead protector like a bandana, along with the standard Konoha shinobi outfit, which goes all the way up to his chin. Kitetsu wakes with a yawn as he stretches. Stirred by his partner's yawn, Izumo wakes and looks around. The two fail to notice a tall and well-built man in adulthood with fair skin. He has a wart the left side of his nose and waist-length spiky white hair that is tied in a ponytail. Good to see you two keeping your eyes open and guarding the village. Says the man with a smile as Kitetsu turns and widens his eyes. Why your dot says Kitetsu as Izumo widens his eyes. No need to announce me, says the man as he walks into the village, I'll go greet the old man myself. Izumo and Kitetsu look on in shock. Things are going to get lively. Smirks Kitetsu with Izumo chuckling. In the Hokage Tower, Hiruzen sighs as he finishes a loaf of paperwork. He then glances in all directions before opening a drawer. He then pulls out an orange book and opens it to a certain page. Almost immediately, he giggles with a blush on his face. Ahem, says a voice, making Hiruzen gulp and look behind him, pretty good book, huh old man? Jiraiya? States Hiruzen in surprise while Jiraiya laughs. But, says Jiraiya before turning serious, I'm not here to autograph it for you. Hiruzen hears the tone and puts the book away. Tell me. Says Hiruzen as Jiraiya leans on the window. They will soon be ready. Says Jiraiya, making Hiruzen take a puff of his pipe. Have they begun to move? Asks Hiruzen while blowing smoke from his lungs. They've kept themselves busy by doing mercenary work for the ninja villages, says Jiraiya before looking to Hiruzen. My guess is they need money to fund their organization. What do you need? Asks Hiruzen while glancing towards Jiraiya. I need to train Naruto before he graduates from the academy, says Jiraiya as he rubs his hair, but it won't be for long, at most several months. Naruto's combat abilities are among the best in the academy. Says Hiruzen, making Jiraiya chuckle. I've no doubt about that, says Jiraiya as he smiles. Tsunade taught him how to really fight. I taught him ninjutsu. Says Jiraiya with a smile. So what more does he need to learn? Asks Hiruzen as he takes another puff of his pipe. Jiraiya looks to him and takes a scroll of his back. Hiruzen widens his eyes at the scroll. Summoning, says Hiruzen in shock. Isn't he a little young? Asks Hiruzen while Jiraiya laughs. I was younger than him when I learned. Says Jiraiya with a laugh before he sighs. The only thing is, he doesn't seem to like toads all that much. Says Jiraiya with a sheepish chuckle. Hiruzen thinks for a while before he looks to Jiraiya. Does it have to be toads? Asks Hiruzen, making Jiraiya think. The great toad sage didn't specify that it had to be toads, says Jiraiya as he thinks back. What do you have in mind? Hiruzen stands and walks over to a wall before pressing his hand against several panels. Jiraiya raises a brow before Hiruzen takes out a large scroll the size of the toad scroll. The difference between the scrolls is the toad scroll is red, while the scroll Hiruzen has is purple. The purple scroll also has ornate gold snakes. Is that the snake scroll? Asks Jiraiya, making Hiruzen nod and sigh sadly. Hiruzen opens the scroll to see two names. One name has been scratched over and Hiruzen looks on sadly. He chose his path, you aren't responsible. Assures Jiraiya as the scratched out name spells Orochimaru. Yeah, I'm sure this contract will do. Says Hiruzen, making Jiraiya nod his head. Hiruzen taps his hand on the desk in a pattern before an Anbu with an eagle mask arrives. Yes, Lord Hokage? Asks Eagle with a head bow. I need to see Naruto Uzumaki, bring him to me. Orders Hiruzen, making Eagle nod and vanish. Hyuga Estate. Hinata, Hanabi and Hiashi all sit in the training dojo. In front of the three is Naruto and Neji who both have their Byakugan active. Naruto pants as he looks at his rival and friend. Neji pants as well but smiles at the challenge. Neji used to be cold towards anyone affiliated with the main branch of the Hyuga clan, but Naruto changed his views. Since then, Neji has talked with Hiashi and gained closure from his father's death. Ever since the activation of his Byakugan, Naruto has trained with Hiashi and Neji. He has been seen at the Hyuga estate far more often than he used to be. Hinata pokes her fingers together with a blush thinking about tonight. Tonight is the night she goes on a date with Naruto. With the help of Hanabi, Hinata has picked out a kimono that is quite daring for herself. Hanabi has assured her that Naruto would like it. Hinata-nichan, are you thinking about tonight? Asks Hanabi with a teasing tone. Hinata turns bright red and waves her hands frantically in front of her. And no, I was just thinking what I'd have for dinner. Exclaims Hinata with a blush, making Hanabi giggle. Naruto, take care of Hinata tonight. Shouts Hanabi, making Naruto lose his balance and face plant. Hanabi. Cries Hinata with a blush as she covers her face with her hands. Hiashi grips his arms tighter and growls as his hair levitates. Naruto gets up from the ground with a faint blush on his face. That's right, I nearly forgot about tonight. Thinks Naruto with some sweat going down his face. Don't tell me you forgot. Says Hanabi with a stern glare and pout. Naruto turns to her and waves his hand. Oh, of course I didn't forget, says Naruto with a stutter before pointing to Hinata who eeps, prepare yourself for the greatest date in the world. Hinata widens her eyes before fainting, making Hanabi giggle. Naruto on the other hand pales at the words he just said. Am I an idiot, thinks Naruto while pulling his own hair. Neji has his arms folded over his chest with an amused expression. Hanabi finally wakes up Hinata while Naruto turns his head away with his hands in his pockets. Huh, what just happened? Asks Hinata with a head tilt. Neji steps up and smirks to Naruto who becomes confused. Naruto just promised you the best date in the world. Says Neji as he points to Naruto who gapes. That's right, young Naruto has to keep his promise or he will never be a man. Says Hiashi with a stern nod, making Naruto pale further. Naruto buries his head in his hands with a blush. I'm doomed. Says Naruto. Hanabi pats him on the back with a laugh. Neji enters his stance with Naruto doing the same. Before the two can spar, Eagle appears in front of Hiashi who raises his brow. Lord Hiashi, the Lord Hokage would like to speak with Uzumaki-san. Says Eagle. Naruto looks to Eagle and rubs his head. Hinata looks on worried. Will it take long? Asks Naruto as he looks at Eagle who looks to Naruto. I'm not sure, why? Asks Eagle before Naruto gets a faint blush on his face. I have a D-date. Says Naruto, making Hinata blush and smile. Eagle's sweat drops at the statement before looking to Hiashi who nods his head. Well, it shouldn't take too long. Says Eagle given that it is early morning with the sun just rising. Naruto nods before standing next to Eagle. Naruto looks to Hinata who blushes and pokes her fingers. See you tonight. Says Naruto before vanishing via Shunshin. Hokage Tower. Naruto appears in the Hokage Tower with Eagle. The first thing he sees is Jiraiya who smiles at him. Naruto deadpans at the man before dashing forward and punching him. Jiraiya's eyes comically widen at the sudden attack as he slams into the wall. Good morning, pervert. Greets Naruto with his arms folded and back turned from Jiraiya. If one would look closely they would see a tiny smile on Naruto's face. Jiraiya reaches out with blood running down his face. Then Naruto attempts Jiraiya before Naruto's foot slams on his head. Why has it taken all this time for you to come visit, little pervert? Demands Naruto as he stomps away at Jiraiya. Jiraiya continues to try to apologize before Naruto stops. Jiraiya struggles to stand and has lumps on his head. Forgive me. Tries Jiraiya while Naruto doesn't look at him. Suddenly Naruto turns and transforms. Boric no jutsu, sexy jutsu. Says a feminine Naruto with red hair and a well-endowed chest. Jiraiya looks on before widening his eyes as blood runs down his face. Yahoo! Shouts Jiraiya with a perverted smile before Naruto changes back. Little pervert. Shouts Naruto as he uppercuts Jiraiya into the ceiling. Jiraiya falls from the ceiling before standing tall. I am not a little pervert. Says Jiraiya with a glare while Naruto raises a brow. Really? Asks Naruto before Jiraiya laughs. I'm a big one. Shouts Jiraiya proudly. Naruto deadpans at the man. I'm telling Granny Tsunade. Says Naruto, making Jiraiya pale. He bows down to Naruto with tears running down his face. Please don't. Says Jiraiya before Hiruzen clears his throat, making the two look to him. Naruto's eye twitches when he sees blood running down Hiruzen's nose. Naruto, says Jiraiya turning serious. Naruto knows the games are over by the tone of Jiraiya's voice, you need to sign a summoning contract. Naruto looks to him and sighs. I haven't found one and no, I won't sign the toad contract. Says Naruto, making Jiraiya chuckle. Hiruzen pulls out the snake contract and sets it down. Naruto raises a brow at the scroll. What's that? Asks Naruto, making Hiruzen open the scroll. Naruto sees two names with one crossed out. Orochimaru and Anko Midarashi. Naruto sees the snake decorations on the seal and hums. So where do I sign? Asks Naruto with a smile while Jiraiya looks to him and smiles. After writing his name in blood, Naruto is taken by Jiraiya to a training ground to summon his first animal. So what hand signs do I need to do? Asks Naruto as he stands in the middle of the field with the sun high in the sky. Jiraiya laughs before flashing through hand signs as Naruto looks on. Uchius no Jutsu, summoning jutsu. States Jiraiya as he slams his palm on the ground. In a puff of smoke, a toad appears with Jiraiya standing on top of its head. Naruto looks on in amazement, having seen Jiraiya only summon small toads when he was young. Did you get it? Asks Jiraiya with a chuckle at Naruto's amazed face. Naruto quickly goes through hand signs before slamming his palm on the ground. The smoke clears to show a 9-foot snake that makes Naruto look a little nervous. Jiraiya looks at the snake and feels something odd coming from it. So cool. Shouts Naruto as he looks up at the snake, who looks to him. You fool, something's not right. Shouts Jiraiya. The snake looks around before eyeing Naruto, who yells back at Jiraiya with a tick mark on his head. Suddenly he widens his eyes when the snake wraps around him and looks him in the eyes. The coils begin to instantly crush him, making him widen his eyes further and a slight bit of fear to come out. Are you the one who summoned me? Asks the snake in a female tone that has a hypnotic after effect to it before Naruto feels danger and substitutes with a wood replacement. The snake hums as the wood replacement turns to splinters after the snake applies some pressure. Naruto, it is up to you to prove you are worthy to summon their species. Says Jiraiya as he watches from a distance. You didn't tell me that. Shouts Naruto in anger before the snake moves at high speeds towards him. Past. Thinks Naruto before dodging the fangs and flipping up on a branch. The snake wraps itself around the tree before ascending. Naruto jumps into the forest and lands on a branch. He looks around but can't see the snake. Naruto continues to look around the forest and clicks his teeth. Hello? I know you're there. Says Naruto as he looks around. Hello, little boy. Greets the snake, making Naruto tense. Unknown to Naruto, the snake has camouflaged itself among the trees. Oh no, don't be scared, says the snake in a soothing, hypnotic voice. I'm not going to hurt you. You have a funny way of proving it. Says Naruto as he switches from stance to stance in a circle. Listen, I don't want trouble, I just want to summon your kin when I need them. Assures Naruto as he talks to the snake. There's no trouble. Says the snake as it discreetly moves around the forest while wrapping itself among the branches, cutting off Naruto's retreat. Are you alone? Asks the snake as Naruto begins to feel some fear. Something about the snake makes him uncomfortable. It's as if its very presence makes one lower their guard. And not only that, but he feels like prey. My sensei is not far. Says Naruto as he internally curses himself for stuttering in fear. The snake hums and Naruto quickly turns, thinking it was behind him. He sees nothing and takes a relaxing breath. So you are alone, says the snake, making Naruto sweat a little. That's not good, we should never be alone. Naruto widens his eyes and turns to see the snake looking at him a few feet away. The snake lowers its head and comes closer. I can keep you company if you want. Says the snake as Naruto begins to lower his guard, unconsciously. The snake begins to slither closer, but not fast to alarm Naruto, but slow, keeping Naruto's gaze on her. Who are you? Asks Naruto as he steps back, making the snake slow its movement. The snake slithers closer and stops, making Naruto confused. Ha! Soothes the snake, giving its name. Naruto has now completely lowered his guard as Ka moves forward. I meant no harm or insult for summoning you. Assures Naruto as Ka looks to him and nuzzles her body against his face. Forgive me, says Ka as she wraps herself around Naruto while never losing eye contact. It's been some time since I was summoned. Naruto looks into her eyes before shaking his head and noticing he has been caught. Oh my, says Ka with her hypnotic voice, not many people can break out of my hypnosis. Naruto glares at her, making Ka hiss in curiosity. You wish to summon my kin? Asks Ka, getting a nod from Naruto. Ka seems to loosen her coils before putting her head in front of Naruto. I have to say you have the skill to do so. Says Ka before glancing behind her to see Naruto crouched on a branch. Thank you. Says Naruto with a smile as the Naruto that Ka has her coils around poofs away. Ka curls around the branch she is on before sighing. Very well, says Ka, having had her fun, making Naruto widen his eyes with a smile, but in order for you to truly be our summoner, you'd have to summon Manda. Manda? Asks Naruto as Jiraiya lands beside him. Yo, it looks like everything worked out. Says Jiraiya with a laugh while Naruto shakes and uppercuts him with a tick mark. You buffoon. Shouts Naruto as Ka looks on at the scene of a boy beating his sensei. After the beating, Naruto has a throbbing tick mark as he looks to Ka. "Next time you tell me everything involved with a jutsu, got it?" asks Naruto while glancing back at a beaten up Jiraiya. "Hi, I'm sorry," says Jiraiya. "So, who is this Manda?" asks Naruto as Jiraiya stands, fully healed from the beating. "Manda is the boss summon of the snakes of the Richi cave," says Jiraiya as he looks to Ka, who nods. "Judging by your smell," says Ka as she flicks her tongue, "you are a toad summoner." Naruto looks between the two. "The Toad and Snake clans have been enemies since the dawn of time," says Jiraiya, making Naruto widen his eyes, "but even still, they have found ways to cooperate with each other. More like endure the sight of each other," says Ka as she slithers towards Naruto. Naruto nods his head understanding. "But how can I summon the big boss?" asks Naruto before Ka bites him, making him yell out and cover his bite wound. "What was that for?" demands Naruto with a glare. Ka simply looks at him and sighs. "We of the Snake Clan are highly poisonous," says Ka as she looks at Naruto, who sweats a little, "so it is a custom that our summoners gain our immunity to all poisons." Naruto glances at the bite spot and feels no pain. "Also, I have an idea about how to summon Manda," says Jiraiya as Naruto rubs his bite spot and doesn't look to him. "Is that so?" states Naruto as he turns before he sees Jiraiya poke him with 2 fingers. Naruto is suddenly flung back through the forest and in a ravine. "Eh?" shouts Naruto as he falls down the ravine. Ka and Jiraiya look down the ravine. "A very effective plan," says Ka, giving a compliment before she sweat drops at the sight of Jiraiya with a cloud of depression and fear. "He's going to kill me when he gets out of there," cries Jiraiya before he becomes ghostly white. "Or even worse, he'll tell Tsunade," says Jiraiya with pure fear. "Tsunade? You mean the legendary Sannin who could bring down mountains with a single punch?" asks Ka with Jiraiya paling at every word. She then puts her tail on his shoulder. "Good luck," says Ka with her tail forming a thumbs up. Naruto looks down the seemingly bottomless ravine and begins to panic. He looks to the side of the walls and channels his chakra. "Ought to grab onto the edge," panics Naruto in his head as he tries to grab the side of the ravine. As he latches on, widens his eyes at the wetness of the rocks. "Shit," thinks Naruto as he falls deeper into the ravine. Naruto can hear his heartbeat becoming faster as he looks down the ravine. "Is this how I'm going to die?" thinks Naruto with wide eyes. Suddenly he sees flashes of Tsunade, Jiraiya, Iruka, Hiruzen, Nico, Inu, and Hinata. Naruto's eyes narrow before he bites his finger and flashes through hand signs. Deep inside him, a pair of red eyes open before a smirk is seen before the eyes close. "Kuchius no Jutsu, summoning jutsu," shouts Naruto as a large puff of smoke goes off under him. He lands on something hard and rolls to a stop. Naruto stands and looks around before checking if he summoned the right thing. He widens his eyes at the sheer size of the summon he called. Ka looks down the ravine and hisses at the sight of the massive snake. "This should be good," says Ka as she lounges on a tree with her head looking down the ravine. Manda is not one who likes to be summoned. Naruto looks down at the massive snake he is on and begins to pale at the aura this one's giving off. Suddenly the snake moves and Naruto falls on the coils. "Ow," says Naruto as he rubs his head before widening his eyes when the snake looks at him. Says Manda with narrowed eyes. Naruto opens his mouth in shock and amazement at the sight of the large purple snake whose coils are tunneled within the walls of the ravine. "Well," says Manda with narrowed eyes at Naruto, who can't seem to form words, "what should be your punishment for summoning me, little bug?" Naruto can immediately tell that this guy is snobbish and arrogant, but he can back it up. "Perhaps I should just eat you," hisses Manda while flicking out his tongue, making Naruto stand and quickly bow his head in respect. While he may have summoned Manda, that doesn't mean he has to listen to Naruto and take orders. "Lord Manda, my name is Naruto Uzumaki," greets Naruto, making Manda hum at the respectful tone. "I would like to become an official contract holder of the snake contract." Manda looks to the collarbone of Naruto and notices a familiar scent from the no longer existent bite mark. "And I suppose you think I should just roll over and follow your orders?" states Manda with a hiss of anger, making Naruto shake his head quickly. "And no, but if you could help me when I need it and when you are not otherwise preoccupied, I would appreciate it," says Naruto with sweat running down his face. Manda hisses at Naruto before looking up. "Where the hell am I, little boy?" asks Manda, making Naruto widen his eyes at not being called bug. Manda looks to him and narrows his eyes. "Well," hisses Manda, louder, making Naruto stutter. Well, we're in a ravine and I was hoping you could get me us out," says Naruto with a chuckle. Manda looks at the boy and seems to be in thought. "To summon me he would have to expend a large amount of chakra," thinks Manda as he looks over the chuckling boy, and by the looks of it, he seems unfazed by the amount needed and used. "If you fall off you will be eaten by me," says Manda, making Naruto's laughter die in his throat. Manda's body tenses before, quick as lightning, he ascends from the ravine. Naruto struggles to hold onto the fast-moving snake. Manda tunnels into the side of the ravine, making Naruto widen his eyes as rocks come towards him. Naruto punches and kicks the rocks apart while maintaining his foothold on Manda. Feels the movement under the earth and wraps around several branches to maintain her balance. Jiraiya stands on the same tree and sighs in relief. Suddenly Manda resurfaces with Naruto on his back. Jiraiya looks up at Manda to see just how big he is. He is far bigger and longer than Gamabunta, and by the looks of him, he could swallow Gamabunta whole. And being a snake, he's still growing. I'm impressed you managed to keep your feet on me," says Manda as he glances up at a panting Naruto whose eyes are wide at the side of the village, a few miles away. Manda looks down and spots Ka, who slithers up the tallest tree. I see you given this boy our immunity to poison," says Manda with his gaze softening ever so lightly. "Yes I did, father," says Ka, making Naruto gape. Manda lowers his head to the ground, making Naruto hop off. Manda raises his head and looks down at Naruto. "Very well boy, I'll allow you to summon us," says Manda, making Naruto shout and jump for joy, his mother's attitude coming out. "Ka will teach you the various jutsu our summoners can use." Ka wraps around Naruto in a seductive way, making Naruto blush. "It would be my pleasure," hisses Ka while Naruto clears his throat. Manda poofs away in white smoke as Naruto looks to Ka with an innocent smile. "Where is Jiraiya?" asks Naruto, making Ka point her tail to a dust trail that is heading towards the village. Naruto's eyes glow red before he forms a Cheshire cat-like grin on his face. Jiraiya's girly screams are heard all the way to the village. Later that night, at the Hyuga estate, Hinata waits near the front gates with a lavender kimono over her. The kimono seems to show off Hinata's body a little more than she is used to. However, Hanabi was unmoving and promised Naruto would love it. So here she is with a blush on her face, waiting for Naruto. "Ahem," says a voice, making Hinata perk up and look to her right to see Naruto in a red kimono with a faint blush on his face. Hinata looks at Naruto in amazement and blushes. "How do I look?" asks Naruto as he turns his head away. Behind him, watching from a distance, is Sakura and Ino, who give each other the thumbs up. Naruto literally chased them down and forced them to help him for his date. "I can't believe he forced us to help him," says Sakura with a sigh. "Yeah, I guess even Naruto can be scary when he wants to be," says Ino as she shudders at Naruto glowing red eyes. "That's so, I believe she should get dinner first," says Naruto as he extends his arm in an inviting manner. Hinata's head explodes with steam before she quickly recovers. Hi," says Hinata as she holds arms with Naruto, who still has a faint blush. The two walk around the village and play several games before the fireworks start. Naruto takes Hinata to the Chiraku Ramen, where the owner has made special seats and fixed up the place for Naruto. Naruto sweat drops at the sight of Hinata eating more ramen than him. It's really good," says Hinata with a blush as Naruto nods his head with a smile. The date goes by just as Naruto had envisioned it, making his ego skyrocket. However, Hinata smiles at having learned what he had planned by Sakura and Ino and strove to great lengths to make sure everything went as he had envisioned. Near the end of the night, Naruto sits with Hinata by his side as the fireworks are about to start. "Hey Hinata?" asks Naruto without looking at her. Hinata looks to him with a tilted head. "Why do you care about me, Hinata?" asks Naruto as he has never felt a bond like this before. Hinata pokes her fingers together with a blush. She suddenly gets a teasing look in her eyes. "I'd feel bad if I abandoned a dog drenched in the rain," says Hinata with an innocent tone while Naruto gapes. "She's putting me on the same level as a dog," thinks Naruto in shock. A lone tear falls to the ground as Naruto looks down with a comical expression. "Wait, that's not right," says Hinata with a worried face. "I feel sorrier towards Naruto-kun than towards a dog." "Now I'm lower than a dog," thinks Naruto with a comical expression. Hinata giggles at his reaction before she blushes. "Why, you want to know the real reason I like you, Naruto-kun?" asks Hinata, making Naruto look to her. The fireworks illuminate the night as Naruto nods. Then close your eyes," says Hinata with a blush, making Naruto shrug and close his eyes. Suddenly he feels something soft against his lips, making him open his eyes to see Hinata kissing him. Naruto falls into the kiss and the two stay connected. After a while the kiss is stopped as Hinata pants. "I don't like you, Naruto-kun," says Hinata as she looks up at him with a blush. "I love you." Naruto blushes at the confession before cupping Hinata's face, making Hinata surprised. "And Naruto-kun?" asks Hinata before Naruto kisses her. Hinata looks up as Naruto releases the kiss with a smile. "I love you, Hinata," says Naruto, making Hinata turn beet red and steam to rise from her head. In the next second she faints onto Naruto, who smiles as he looks into the night sky. "Hiruzen is going to freak when I tell him I got a girlfriend," says Naruto with a laugh as he rubs Hinata's head. It is early morning within the village hidden in the leaves. The sun has just begun to rise and break through a window of the Hyuga estate. Sleeping in her bed is Hinata, who sleeps with a peaceful expression on her face. Now at the age of 15, Hinata has grown taller and her body has developed. She still has her hair kept short. The sun hits the face of the sleeping girl, making her eyes flutter open. She blinks her eyes before looking out the window. "I have to get ready," says Hinata softly before placing her hand on the bed. She perks up when she touches something hard. She hears a groan from the other side of the bed, making her nervous. She shakily looks to the other side to see the covers over a lump. Gathering her courage, Hinata takes the covers off to see Naruto with his chest exposed. "And Naruto-kun," exclaims Hinata with her face beet red. Naruto has also grown at the age of 15, he is now one of the tallest in his class, and his red hair is now waist-length and tied into a ponytail, with 2 shoulder-length bangs framing his face. Though in bed his hair is fully out. He has copied this hairstyle from Jiraiya. Hinata has steam coming from her blushing face before Naruto groans as the sun hits his face. "Hinata, go back to sleep," says Naruto as he grabs her and pulls her close. Hinata eeps with a blush at the closeness of Naruto, who sleeps softly. This has become a daily occurrence as Naruto and Hinata would spend so much time with each other that when they returned, they would immediately go to bed. "It's time to wake up, and Naruto-kun," says Hinata as she looks at the sleeping Naruto with a soft smile. Naruto continues to sleep as Hinata pokes his cheek. "Wake up or I'll kiss you," says Hinata with a blush before fretting and putting her hands over her face. Naruto still sleeps, making Hinata giggle before wiggling out of his arms. She gets up and stretches before getting dressed for the day. "And Naruto-kun, we won't have time to eat breakfast if you don't wake up," says Hinata as she gets her hair done with a smile. Naruto groans and turns over to where Hinata is with his eyes still closed. "Hinata, come back to sleep," says Naruto in his sleep, making Hinata blush as he opens the covers in an inviting manner. Hinata stops what she's doing and stutters as she sees Naruto's bare chest. "Hurry up," says Naruto in his sleep. Hinata steps forward with a blush. Excuse me," says Hinata as she enters the bed and snuggles close to Naruto. Hinata is flushed and has a soft smile on her face as Naruto wraps his arms around her. End song. An hour later, 2 blurs run through the village, dodging people and obstacles. Naruto has a faint blush on his cheeks as he jumps to the top of a building with Hinata right behind him, who is beet red. Naruto looks back to Hinata, who squeaks. Naruto wears a black Anbu flak jacket with scarlet trimming and a Uzumaki swirl on his back over a black long-sleeve shirt. He wears ninja shoulder guards and gauntlets. On his back is a katana, with the grip being wrapped in bandages. The sheath of the sword is also wrapped in the middle. "I'm sorry," says Naruto as he looks forward, making Hinata shake her head. "And no, it was my fault," says Hinata as she remembers joining Naruto in bed after having already awoken, "but you said hurry up." "Huh?" says Naruto, having not heard Hinata, who spoke the last word softly. Hinata glows beet red before shaking her head. "And never mind," exclaims Hinata with a blush. The two land at the academy doors before Naruto sighs in relief. "Naruto asked one Naruto's daily life." "Hinata," calls a voice, making Naruto glare and look to see Kiba riding Akamaru. Hinata waves to Kiba while Naruto wraps an arm around Hinata, who blushes. Kiba growls at the closeness of the two before stopping. "Naruto, it's not like you to be early," says Kiba stiffly while Naruto looks to him. "Luckily I have Hinata to wake me up," says Naruto with a smirk, making Kiba grow a tick mark. Hinata blushes at the implication. "Too bad she couldn't help your grades, dead last," says Kiba with a smirk. Despite his combat skills, Naruto is not very good at studying as he simply finds it boring. Naruto grows a tick mark on his head and his gaze turns dark. Says Naruto, getting right in Kiba's face as Kiba growls. "Your grades aren't that much better, fleabag," says Naruto with a glare. "What?" growls Kiba as sparks fly from their eyes. Please no fighting," cries Hinata as she hugs Naruto and looks up at him with watery eyes. Naruto gasps with a faint blush on his face. "You understood," says Naruto while turning his head away but smirking at Kiba, who turns red with anger while Akamaru whines. Suddenly Kiba smells Hinata's scent on Naruto. "Boy, why do you smell like Hinata?" demands Kiba while pointing at Naruto, who deadpans at him. "Did you seriously just ask that?" asks Naruto with a blank expression at how demeaning it sounded. Naruto suddenly smirks and pulls Hinata closer. "Well, it should be obvious," says Naruto as he leans close to Hinata, who is beet red. "Shouldn't it, Hinata?" Kiba yells out in anger while Hinata places her head in her hands. As the hour goes by, the doors open and Naruto enters the classroom. He sits with Hinata, who blushes at the close proximity. Sasuke enters the classroom and the two make eye contact. The temperature of the room suddenly drops as the two glare at each other. Sasuke wears a flak jacket over a long-sleeved blue shirt with a high collar, white pants and white arm warmers. Attached to the back of his waist is a chikudo. Despite them working together to defeat the Taki Kunoichi, Naruto and Sasuke seem to not get along. Sasuke smirks and looks at him. "I had thought you would be kicked out of the academy for being so dumb, loser," says Sasuke with a smirk as Naruto's grip tightens and he splinters the table he's at. Hinata's sweat drops at the table cracking from a simple grip. "Oh, you've got some balls to talk to me like that," says Naruto as he glares at Sasuke who glares back. "I thought you'd be kicked out for spreading that disease, jerk," says Naruto as sparks fly between the two. "Disease?" says Sasuke with a glare. "Ah, never mind, it was just you being an emo," says Naruto, making Sasuke grow a tick mark. Suddenly the class begins to shake as the students hear yelling. Naruto smirks and looks at Sasuke. "They're coming for you, Sasuke-chan," laughs Naruto while Sasuke grows several more tick marks. Sasuke sits next to Naruto who glares at him with Hinata on his right side. The doors burst open as Sakura and Ino arrive. "First," shout the girls before they glare at each other. Despite their fangirlish attitude, Sakura and Ino are no pushovers in their ninja arts. Sakura has learned medical ninjutsu to support her love, still she is no match in a fight against Naruto. "Hinata?" asks Naruto in a serious tone, making Hinata look to him. "What is it, and Naruto-kun?" asks Hinata with a tilted head. "They're coming over here, aren't they?" asks Naruto as Hinata looks back to see Sakura and Ino running towards her. "Hi," says Hinata, making Naruto click his teeth. Sakura and Ino stop right in front of Naruto with deadly glares. "Oi, Naruto, move," demands Sakura and Ino with dark glares befitting girls in love. Naruto raises his head and looks at them. "Just who the hell do you think you're talking to?" asks Naruto with a deadly tone, but to the girls' credit, they didn't back down. Naruto clicks his teeth and looks at Sasuke. "Oh, sit somewhere else and take your fangirls with you," says Naruto with a glare. Sasuke opens his eyes and looks at Naruto. "No," says Sasuke plainly. "You move, Naruto," shouts Ino and Sakura as Naruto growls. Hinata looks on worriedly before the doors open and Iruka comes in. "End song, the final year of the Ninja Academy is nearly over," says Iruka as he looks at the students gathered. He smiles as he sees some of the faces from the first year. Mizuki enters the classroom with his fake smile in place. "Today is your graduation test," says Iruka, making some of the students groan. Iruka's sweat drops at their reactions before he sighs with a smile. "When I call your name, please come up and do the basic 3 jutsu and an elemental or clan jutsu of your choice," says Iruka. Since they are 15, the students should be able to mold their chakra into an elemental ninjutsu, those who can't will fail. "Shino Aburam, you're first," says Iruka, getting the silent teen to stand and walk to the front of the class. Shino does the 3 basic jutsu before making a clone out of bugs. Naruto ignores the rest of the test and lies his head down, making Hinata smile softly and rub his head. Hinata hums a tone as Naruto sleeps before Hinata is called up. Sasuke passes his test and ends it with the fireball jutsu. "Naruto asked one, I said I'm Naruto, Naruto," calls Iruka before he sweat drops at the sight of Naruto sleeping. Hinata blushes before poking Naruto several times, making the teen stir. "What's wrong?" asks Naruto sleepily while Hinata points to Iruka who has a tick mark. "Get up, you idiot," shouts Iruka with his head enlarging. Naruto stands with a yawn and makes his way to the front of the class, with Mizuki narrowing his eyes. "That brat, no matter what I do he still passes," thinks Mizuki as he had tried to sabotage Naruto for the past 3 years, but each time Naruto still passed. Naruto looks to Iruka whose tick mark throbs. "Do the basic 3," says Iruka as Naruto forms a one-handed ram seal. A poof of smoke goes off and clears. Iruka's jaw hits the floor when he sees the results. "Boric no jutsu, sexy jutsu," says Naruto with a seductive tone. Naruto's hair is now smooth and straight with it reaching his butt. Naruto winks at Iruka who flies back with a nosebleed. "Ahaha, you'll never learn," laughs Naruto before the sound of the punch is heard. Naruto, now sporting a lump on his head, looks to Iruka. "Do the clone jutsu," says Iruka after clearing his throat and wiping his nose. Naruto forms a ram seal and several poofs of smoke go off. Standing in front of Iruka and the class are 7 perfect copies of Naruto. "Age Bunshin no jutsu, shadow clone jutsu," says all 7 Narutos. Iruka stares with wide eyes at the use of a high-level jutsu. "Okay Naruto, use the substitution jutsu," says Iruka as Naruto nods his head. Iruka picks up several kunai. He throws them with pinpoint accuracy and hits a wood replacement. "Okay Naruto, preform an elemental jutsu of your choice," says Iruka as he knows Naruto has passed. Naruto steps outside and spots the targets. Naruto flashes through 3 hand signs before his cheeks bulge. "Suiton. Mizurappa, raging waves," states Naruto as water gushes from his mouth like a waterfall. The wave of water hits the targets and destroys them with the sheer force and volume of the water. Naruto looks at the damage while messing with his hair. "Ah, I went a little overboard," says Naruto. Iruka writes down the results and smiles at his students. "Congratulations you all, you have successfully graduated from the academy," says Iruka as he takes the students into the class and gives them their headbands. "Naruto," calls Iruka, making Naruto walk to him, "Lord Jiraiya wanted me to give you this," Haruka passes Naruto a special headband. Naruto's headband is horn like Jiraiya's but instead the kanji for oil, it has the symbol of the hidden leaf. I considered it an honor to train you all, says Haruka as he smiles, all of you are free to spend the rest of the day doing whatever you want. The teens cheer with smiles while Naruto yawns with Shikamaru. End song. Evening. The sun has begun to set as Naruto and Hinata walk home. Naruto looks to the sky and smiles at how the clouds appear red in the setting sun. Hinata watches him and blushes at how beautiful he looks in the light of the setting sun. Naruto then turns to her making Hinata blush harder. What's wrong? Asks Naruto with Hinata shaking her head. And nothing. Assures Hinata while waving her hands in front of her. Naruto asked one nine-tailed demon fox. Naruto smiles at her before his nose twitches as a breeze passes by him. Naruto's eyes look to the outskirts of the village, making Hinata confused. Naruto-kun? Asks Hinata as she sees Naruto's expression turn serious. Hinata, sorry but can you walk from here? Asks Naruto as he looks to Hinata who looks into his eyes. Hinata smiles before nodding her head. Hi. Smiles Hinata as the wind picks up. Naruto smiles as his hair blows in the wind. I'll see you soon. Assures Naruto before he vanishes via Shunshin. Naruto lands on top of a building with narrowed eyes as he looks to the forest. What's going on? Thinks Naruto as he jumps into the forest and dashes through the trees at high speeds. A mile in front of him is Mizuki who wears an evil grin as he clutches a large scroll while jumping through the trees. This was too easy. Laughs Mizuki as he flips onto a branch. He looks at the scroll with a smile. I think the security on the scroll of sealing was so lax. Says Mizuki before he crouches and prepares to take off. He stops and looks behind him with a gasp. Someone's coming. Says Mizuki with some sweat coming down the side of his face. Anbu? No, they shouldn't even know yet. Thinks Mizuki with some panic. Mizuki growls and tightens his grip on the scroll. No, my path to power lies with this scroll and my mission to give it to Lord Orochimaru. Rants Mizuki in his head. Suddenly he lifts his head in surprise as he senses the individual gaining. What? Just how fast is this guy? Thinks Mizuki as he takes off. As he does, a foot lands on the branch he was on for a split second before taking off. Unknown to Mizuki, having been trained by his Anbu guards, Naruto is a master of the pursuit jutsu, which involves tracking an opponent and using as little energy as possibly to chase them. Is that? Thinks Naruto with wide eyes before they narrow. Naruto lands on a branch before propelling off of it and flying by Mizuki. Naruto grips a tree trunk with chakra and swings around it before planting 2 feet in the face of Mizuki, who is caught by surprise with Naruto maneuver. End song. Naruto asked one nervous. Good evening, Mizuki-sensei. Greets Naruto with folded arms. Mizuki rubs his face after recovering from the attack. Naruto's eyes lock onto the scroll of sealing. Despite not being academic in class, Naruto knows the scroll is important, having dozed in and out of the lesson. I was worried over this. Scoffs Mizuki as he stands and looks to Naruto who stands tall, looking down on Mizuki from a higher branch. As an official ninja of the village, says Naruto with closed eyes before they snap open, I can't allow you to take that scroll. Mizuki looks to him and starts laughing. Allow me. Laughs Mizuki before his eyes gain an angry look. Don't make me laugh, growls Mizuki as he takes out a large shuriken, you can't possibly stop me. Mizuki throws the shuriken at Naruto who sees it coming and flips over it. As he does he grabs the shuriken before tossing it back at Mizuki who widens his eyes and jumps to dodge. The shuriken cuts right through several branches before embedding itself in the trunk of a tree. Mizuki lands in a crouch on a branch. Naruto lands on the branch in front of him before Mizuki smiles. Tell me, Naruto, says Mizuki with a sick smirk on his face that makes Naruto narrow his eyes, do you know why you've always been shunned by the villagers? Naruto scoffs and shrugs with narrowed eyes. I don't know and I don't care. Says Naruto having learned to ignore the glares of others. Well, what if I tell you I know the reason? Says Mizuki, making Naruto glare. The reason everyone glares at you is because the fox demon that destroyed our village 15 years ago is sealed inside you, you are the nine-tailed fox. Laughs Mizuki as he pulls out another shuriken. Now die, Naruto. Shouts Mizuki as Naruto stands with his eyes shadowed. Mizuki laughs die in his throat as Naruto catches the shuriken and shatters it with his bare hands. I see, all this time I thought I had done something wrong, says Naruto before his eyes narrow to Mizuki, but instead I learn I am the only thing protecting this village from certain destruction. Mizuki glares at the teen in front of him. Protecting you're a monster. Shouts Mizuki, making Naruto shake his head and shrug. Says the bastard who is about to sell out his village. Says Naruto before entering a stance. Mizuki, says Naruto as he stares into the Chunin's eyes, thank you. Mizuki widens his eyes at the statement before he growls and dashes towards Naruto. Naruto blocks his attacks before he hits Mizuki with a spinning back fist to the gut and headbutts him back. Mizuki flies back and holds his head while yelling out. Damn you. Shit. growls Mizuki before his eyes widen when Naruto appears behind him. Naruto enters a stance as his fist glow with chakra. Mizuki turns and steps back as Naruto steps forward. Onmamken. Tengoku no Ikari, yin-yang fist art. Heaven's wrath. Says Naruto as he socks Mizuki right in his kidney with an uppercut, making the Chunin cough up blood and spit. Naruto then hits him with 2 uppercuts that launch Mizuki into the air before Naruto stands straight and waves his hand in a circular motion around himself. As Mizuki comes down, Naruto delivers a double palm strike to Mizuki's abdomen which caves in from the force and launches Mizuki back into and through the tree trunk. Naruto stands tall as the tree falls and picks up dust. As the dust clears it shows Mizuki who is out cold. End song, HMPH, way too easy. Says Naruto with folded arms as Iruka lands behind him. Naruto, where's Mizuki? Asks Iruka before he spots a beaten Mizuki on the ground. Soon after, the Anbu arrive and debrief Naruto before he is free to go. The next morning, Naruto takes his picture for his ninja registration form. Naruto then met Konohamaru who is the grandson of the 3rd Hokage. Naruto being who he is, got mad at Konohamaru who blamed Naruto for tripping him. Naruto with a bit of his mother coming out, slammed his fist right into the skull of the poor boy. Konohamaru would then follow Naruto and ask him to train him. Naruto initially refused but Konohamaru stroked his ego by calling him boss man after training. Konohamaru explains to Naruto that the reason he wants to be the next Hokage was so that people can't see him as more than just the grandson of the 3rd Hokage. Konohamaru's personal trainer, Ibisu, finds Naruto and Konohamaru. Ibisu tells Konohamaru to come with him, but Konohamaru refuses. After announcing that he is learning how to beat his grandfather in order to become Hokage, Konohamaru performs the sexy technique. Worried that Konohamaru is becoming a delinquent due to Naruto, Ibisu tries to pull Konohamaru away with him. Naruto, angered by being called delinquent, uses the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu to fight Ibisu, who is overly confident of his superior skills. Naruto then preforms H-Rimyu no Jutsu making Ibisu spurt blood and fall unconscious. After the fight, Konohamaru declares Naruto his rival, making Naruto smirk and walk off. Naruto asked one I said I'm Naruto. Naruto wakes up in his bed and stretches before getting up. He quickly dresses himself and smiles as he puts on his forehead protector. Naruto smiles softly at being one step closer to his dream of becoming Hokage. With not enough time to eat, Naruto dashes out of his apartment and lands on the streets. He rushes down the streets before stopping at the Hyuga estate. Oh, hey Naruto. Greets a Hyuga guard as Naruto waves. Lady Hinata went ahead. Says the guard making Naruto say a quick thanks before taking off. Naruto dashes to the academy and opens the doors before spotting Hinata. He then sees Kiba making his way over to her, making Naruto dash by him and sit next to Hinata. Hey Hinata. Greets Naruto with his arm slung across her shoulder, making the poor girl steam with a blush. Good morning, and Naruto-kun. Greets Hinata while poking her fingers together as Naruto smirks at Kiba who practically bursts into flames while growling. Naruto then perks up and looks to his left to see Sasuke with closed eyes. Sasuke then opens his eyes, and the two stare at each other. Ah. State both the teens before they turn away with HMPHS. Hinata sweat drops at the two before finding something to distract Naruto with. And Naruto-kun, do you think we'll be on the same team? Asks Hinata with a stutter and blush. Naruto looks to her before leaning back with a dark sigh, making Hinata sweat drop. Yeah, team. Says Naruto darkly as he glances at Sasuke. Huh? That response seemed more sharp-edged than usual. Thinks Hinata with a sheepish chuckle. Ah, maybe we'll be on the same team. Smiles Kiba as Naruto glares at him. Even if you are, you touch her I kill you. Says Naruto darkly, making Akamaru whine with his head down. Kiba gulps at the threat before Hinata hugs Naruto. Hey Kiba's just joking, assures Hinata as she gazes at Naruto, besides I will only ever love you. Naruto blushes at the statement, while Kiba cries and I'm tears for being dismissed as a jockster. Naruto lifts Hinata's chin and kisses her, making several kunoichi blush while Sasuke grunts. The moment is ruined when the distinct noise of rumbling enters the ears of Naruto. The doors burst open as Sakura and Ino yell out. Oh great. Groans Naruto as he glances to the doorway. Sakura looks around and spots Naruto or rather Sasuke. Sakura runs toward Sasuke before stopping in front of Naruto who glares. Move it, Naruto. Growls Sakura before Naruto grows tick marks on his head. What was that? Demands Naruto as he glares at Sakura who glares back. The two slam their foreheads against each other with grinding teeth. Then Naruto-kun. Calls Hinata as she moved down a table. Naruto looks to Sakura and Ino and scoffs before joining Hinata. End song, Hokage Tower. Naruto asked one glued state. The Jonin all gather around Hiruzen's crystal ball and watch the teens. Kurenai Yuhi smiles at Hinata who has gained for more confidence since she has dated Naruto. Asuma chuckles at the teens as he sees Sakura and Naruto arguing. Kakashi chuckles sheepishly at the teens. So we've got Sasuke Uchiha and Naruto Uzumaki as the top genin this year. Says Asuma as he watches the events in the classroom. Yeah, but Naruto's grades are sorely lacking. Says a jonin. That's not surprising as those who decided to teach him sabotaged his learning. Says Asuma as he takes a puff of his cigarette. But despite that, he has proven that he is not stupid, just no longer willing to learn from those he deems unfit to teach him. Says Hiruzen as he watches Naruto. His combat abilities are on par with Sasuke's. Says Kakashi as he looks at the teens. So, have you all chosen? Asks Hiruzen, making Asuma, Kakashi and Kurenai nod their heads. I heard he beat Mizuki. Says a jonin with some doubt. That's putting it lightly, says another jonin, apparently Mizuki won't gain any movement for 6 months. This should be interesting. Thinks Kakashi as he sees Naruto growing anger at the fangirls. Then Song and start Naruto asked one bad situation. Back in the classroom, Naruto shakes with barely controlled anger at the loud voices of the fangirls. Hinata pokes her fingers together before Naruto turns around and glares at the cause of all this. Sasuke looks up to see Naruto crouched on his desk. It's because of you that this class can't keep quiet in the mornings. Growls Naruto, while Sasuke glares. You point? Asks Sasuke as the two stare off. Lay off, Naruto. Shouts Ino with the others nodding their heads. Naruto turns to them with darkened eyes. You girls, shut up. Says Naruto as his hair waves behind him. Once I'm done with him, you're next. Says Naruto as the girls gulp at how scary he looks. Someone behind Naruto rises from his seat while laughing and bumps Naruto, who begins to fall forward. Naruto and Sasuke's eyes widen comically in slow motion. Hinata sees the two converging and widens her eyes in fright. No. Shouts Hinata as she palms both in the stomach, sending them away from each other. Oof. Shout both Naruto and Sasuke as they fall to the ground. Why, Hinata? Asks Naruto as he holds his stomach while Sasuke groans on the ground. Hinata pokes her fingers together with a blush as she sits beside Naruto. Why you can't kiss anyone but me? Shouts Hinata with a blush, making Naruto sit up and pat her head. That's not what I meant, says Naruto before pointing to Sasuke, who sits up and grunts. Why didn't you just hit him? Eh? Says Hinata with a blush while Sasuke glares at the two. Idiot. Growls Sasuke. Naruto's ears twitch at the name, and he glares. Naruto attempts to strangle Sasuke, but Hinata holds him back. Iruka walks in the class with a smile before he sweat drops at the fangirls and Hinata holding back Naruto. Just let me give him one punch. Growls Naruto as the girls grit their teeth and hold him back. No, stop it you idiot. Shouts Sakura as she puts Naruto in a headlock. Sit down and shut up. Shouts Iruka as they all look to him while sitting in their seats. Naruto clicks his teeth with Hinata right next to him. Iruka sighs at the teens before pulling out a sheet of paper. Your teams have been assigned. Says Iruka as Hinata practically squeezes Naruto into her chest. Naruto flails around and waves his arm. See, calm down, Hinata. Panics Naruto in a muffled tone. Team 10 will be Choji Akimichi, Shikamaru Nara and Ino Yamanaka. Says Iruka as Ino groans and slams her head down. Team 8 will be Shino Aburam, Kiba Inuzuka and Hinata Hyuga. Says Iruka as Hinata turns pale white while Naruto stops moving. Kiba whoops with his hand in the air. No. Shouts Hinata as she crushes Naruto in a hug and the teen sweat drop at the sound of breaking bones. Hinata hugs Naruto close and looks down sadly. I won't be on Naruto's team. Thinks Hinata as Naruto stands with shadowed eyes. He then turns to Shino and Kiba, who both gulp while Akamaru whines. You two, if anything happens to Hinata I'll kill you. Says Naruto with a dead serious tone. Naruto then looks directly at Kiba. If you need to rut, go find another dog. Says Naruto, making Kiba growl. Suddenly Naruto pales and looks to Iruka, who gulps. Wait, no you didn't. Says Naruto while taking a step back with a fearful expression. Ahem, Team 7. Sakura Haruno, Sasuke Uchiha and gulp Naruto Uzumaki. Says Iruka with some sweat running down his face. Sasuke slams his head down, while Sakura cheers. Naruto comically begins to corrode away. What the hell? Shouts Naruto. It is late morning in the Leaf Village as the sun shines on the sleeping face of Naruto. Naruto groans before opening his eyes and looking at the clock. He stands from his bed and stretches before heading to the kitchen. He opens his fridge and takes an apple and milk. He then pours himself a bowl of cereal while munching on his apple. I feel I am forgetting something. Says Naruto as he eats his cereal. Suddenly his eyes widen and he spits out his cereal. I'm late. Exclaims Naruto before quickly dressing and rushing out his door. Naruto rushes through the village, becoming nothing but a red blur before he skids to a stop at the academy. He bursts through the doors and runs to his class. He hears his fellow graduates and smiles, knowing Iruka hasn't arrived yet. Naruto opens the door and smiles when he sees the teens. I made it. Says Naruto with a sigh of relief. Hinata waves to Naruto, who smiles and sits by her before wrapping his arm around her. Hinata slightly blushes at the contact, but since they've dated for a while, she has gotten used to it a little. Ah, thought you'd be late for sure. Laughs Kiba at the fact Naruto was almost late on his first official day as a ninja. TCH, I see they still allow mutts in the class. Says Naruto with a smirk while Kiba growls with Akamaru barking in anger. Everyone likes dogs, but nobody likes an idiot. Says Kiba, making Naruto scoff before looking to Hinata. I'm not a big dog fan, says Naruto as he gets his face close to Hinata's, I prefer cute bunnies. Kiba's upper left brow twitches with a tick mark. And Naruto-kun. Whines Hinata with a blush. Hey, keep it down. Says Shikamaru as he puts his head back down. How come you're always sleeping? Asks Kiba with genuine curiosity. Yeah, don't you sleep at your own house? Asks Naruto making Shikamaru lift his head. My mom was troublesome last night, says Shikamaru as Kiba and Naruto look at him for more information, what a drag. Hinata's sweat drops at the line while Naruto rolls his eyes. Naruto looks around the classroom to see Sakura and Ino arguing over Sasuke as always. Sasuke sits between the two trying to ignore them, but Naruto can't tell by the twitching of his brow that it is not going well. Ah, I'm going to miss you Hinata. Says Naruto as he leans on Hinata who giggles and rubs his head. I'll miss you too. Says Hinata as Naruto leans his head on her. The doors open, drawing the attention of the teens. Several people walk into the classroom, making the teens murmur. Who are they? Asks a Kunoichi. They look really strong. Says another Kunoichi. The newcomers takes teams of 3 out of the class before Asuma steps forward. Team 10, you're with me. Says Asuma with a smile. Shikamaru wakes and heads down with Joji following. Ino growls as Sakura gets Asuka all to herself. Team 10 leaves the classroom with Asuma checking the time and shaking his head with a smirk. My name is Kurenai and I am the sensei for Team 8. Says Kurenai with a smile towards Hinata who smiles. Hinata stands after Naruto hugs her before heading to the front. In the classroom is Naruto, Sakura and Sasuke. Hey, do you know where our sensei is? Asks Naruto making Kurenai look to him and chuckles sheepishly. You'll see him soon I think. Says Kurenai before leaving the room. Naruto looks to his teammates in confusion. Sasuke simply grunts and looks out the window while Sakura shrugs and frets over Sasuke. Useless. Says Naruto with folded arms. After waiting for 2 more hours, Naruto's patience has vanished. He's late. Growls Naruto for the 100th time as he sits with his feet propped up on the desk. His feet keep tapping the desk in a pattern as Sakura looks to him. Naruto, just sit still. Demands Sakura as the tapping is grating on her nerves. Naruto looks to her. Why is the sensei for Team 7 the only one late? Asks Naruto with a growl at doing nothing for 2 hours. All the others have probably already begun their training. Sighs Naruto in defeat. Well there's nothing we can do about it. Says Sakura with a sigh. Sasuke ignores the two before Naruto stands. Naruto takes an eraser and puts it above the door. Naruto smiles at the prank, his mother shining through with her personality. What are you doing? Asks Sakura with an are you serious? Look. Sakura looks at the eraser and sighs. It's his fault for being late. Says Naruto as he steps away. It'll be your fault when you get in trouble. Says Sakura with her hands on her hip. However inner Sakura is cheering for the prank. Sasuke looks and scoffs. Our teacher is an elite ninja, a jonin, he's not going to fall for something that simple. Says Sasuke with Sakura looking to Naruto. Yeah, why do you have to be so stupid? Says Sakura, making Naruto scoff. Who asked you anyways, Dumbus? Asks Naruto, making Sasuke scoff and Sakura to growl. Hey, don't call Sasuke a Dumbus. Says Sakura, making Naruto look to her. Shut it, man I wish Hinata could have been on my team instead of you. Says Naruto with a sad sigh. Suddenly the doors open and the teens look before the eraser bounces off someone's head. The silver-haired man stands there for a second before Naruto covers his mouth while laughing. He actually fell for it. Laughs Naruto, not believing it. Sensei I am so sorry, I told him to stop, but he wouldn't listen. Says Sakura with inner Sakura shouting perfect shot. He actually fell for such a dumb thing, is he really a jonin? Thinks Sasuke while looking at the silver-haired man. The man picks up the eraser and puts his hand to his chin. My first impression of this group is I hate you. Says Kakashi, making Sakura slump and Sasuke to grunt. Naruto looks to Kakashi and shrugs. Not the first person to say that to me. Says Naruto before looking at Kakashi. So when are we training, sensei? Asks Naruto with a smirk. Kakashi looks to Naruto and sighs before turning. Let's head up to the roof. Says the man before vanishing via Shunshin. Right after him are the teens with Sakura being last. On the roof, the teens sit in front of their sensei who leans against the rail. Kakashi looks to each of his students and analyzes them. He determines that Sasuke and Naruto will be damagers while Sakura is support and medic. Alright let's see, why don't you introduce yourselves? States Kakashi while Sakura looks to him. What should we say? Asks Sakura as Naruto scoffs. He said introduce ourselves, don't you understand anything? Says Naruto making Sakura turn to him and hit his head. Naruto sits with a lump on his head with his arms folded. Start with what you like, hate, hobbies, dreams for the future, that sort of stuff. Says Kakashi as Naruto looks to Sakura. The fact you had to ask mean you're going nowhere in the future. Says Naruto with a smirk before Sakura balls her fist with a growl. Why don't you go first so Sakura can see how it's done? Says Naruto with a smirk while Sakura growls in anger with a fiery background. Well, I'm Kakashi Haddock, I have no intention of telling you my likes and dislikes, my dreams for the future don't know, my hobbies I have lots of hobbies. Says Kakashi, making the teens deadpan at the lame introduction. Okay you're first red. Says Kakashi, making Naruto beam. He rarely meets someone who doesn't comment on his red hair and those who do make jokes. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, I like ramen, meat, sleeping, Hinata, and training. I dislike these two. My hobbies. Training. Says Naruto with a smile while Sasuke grunts and Sakura growls. My dream for the future is to become the greatest Hokage. Says Naruto a serious tone so there will be no doubts. Good to see you haven't changed Naruto. Thinks Kakashi. Okay you're next, Pink. Says Kakashi as Sakura smiles. I'm Sakura Haruno. Says Sakura and there is where Naruto cut off. He looks to his sensei and analyzes him. Despite his lax attitude, this guy hasn't dropped his guard even once. Thinks Naruto as Sasuke has also noticed this. Naruto then sweats a little with a smirk. And even though he approached the classroom, I didn't catch his center feel his presence. Thinks Naruto. This guy he's good. Thinks Sasuke. And I hate Naruto. Says Sakura with folded arms. Naruto snaps out of his thoughts and looks to her. You say something? Asks Naruto, making Kakashi nod his head in approval. She doesn't appear to be a ninja candidate but according to Iruka, she's very good at medical ninjutsu and has surprising strength. Thinks Kakashi before looking to Sasuke. Last one, the brooder. Says Kakashi. My name is Sasuke Uchiha, I hate most things and don't like much of anything, and my ambition will not be a dream for I will see it through. I will revive my clan and kill a certain someone. Says Sasuke, making Naruto glance to him with narrowed eyes and Sakura to stare at him sadly. They all sit in silence for a couple of seconds. So in other words, you're an emotionally unstable teen with more than a few issues. Sums Naruto with a nod of his head. Just as I thought. Thinks Kakashi with a sigh. Kakashi then tells them that they will undergo a survival test tomorrow morning, which will determine which of 27 graduates will be sent to the academy, with the chances of failing being 66%. Before dismissing them, he also tells them to skip breakfast or else they'd puke. Our sensei is a badass. Says Naruto with a smile. Naruto stands and looks to the setting sun. HMPH, he'll do. Says Sasuke as he stands. Sasuke, want to walk me home? Asks Sakura with a smile and blush. We have a survival test tomorrow, why the hell would he want to walk you home? He doesn't want to be sick. Says Naruto before smirking. Sakura nearly explodes like a volcano at the insult. Remember we have to be up at 5 AM, Naruto. Says Sasuke as he puts his hands in his pockets. TCH, like I need you to remind me. Says Naruto before vanishing via Shunshin at the same time as Sasuke. Sakura sighs before vanishing via Shunshin. At 5 AM the following morning, Naruto arrives with Sakura and Sasuke. The three teens are barely awake at the moment and Naruto climbs a tree before falling to sleep. The hours go by before it becomes noon. Naruto wakes and stretches. Is he here yet? Asks Naruto with a yawn. No, he's not. Growls Sakura as she taps her foot on the ground. Sasuke's eyebrow twitches in annoyance. I see. Says Naruto before taking out a bento. Sakura gapes at the massive bento box. He has rice, chicken, beef, and vegetables. Time to chow down. Cheers Naruto as he begins to eat. Sakura and Sasuke's stomachs growl in hunger. Naruto looks to them with food in his mouth. What, you guys didn't eat? Asks Naruto as he swallows his food. Sensei told us not to. Exclaims Sakura. He said we shouldn't eat breakfast, he never said we couldn't eat breakfast. Says Naruto as he eats away. Sakura looks at the big box of food that Naruto is eating. Did you make that? Asks Sakura making Naruto choke on his food and tap his chest. You idiot, don't choke. Shouts Sakura as she helps him. Naruto pants and sighs in relief. That was close. Says Naruto as he drinks some tea. Naruto eats a pork dumpling and beams. Hinata made me this, she said not to eat it until noon. Says Naruto as he eats some rice and chicken. Hey can I have some? Asks Sasuke without looking. Naruto looks to him in surprise and looks to Sakura. He hears their stomachs and sighs. Fine, dig in. Says Naruto as he takes the bento and lifts. The two teens gape at another bento underneath the first. That's all yours? Asks Sakura, making Naruto nod his head. Yeah, Hinata says I have to consume a lot more food due to me eating ramen most of my early life. says Naruto as he eats an egg roll. About an hour later, Kakashi finally arrives to see the teen sleeping. Naruto lies back on the tree trunk with Sakura leaning her head on him. Sasuke leans on the tree. "I'm here," says Kakashi, making the teens wake. Naruto and Sakura look at each other before Naruto widens his eyes. "Get off me, you damn homewrecker," shouts Naruto as he backpedals away from Sakura. "What was that?" demands Sakura with a growl. "I am a one-woman type of guy, I will not be tempted by you," shouts Naruto. Sakura growls at the teen. "Hey, I'm here, oi," calls Kakashi as he is ignored. Kakashi sighs before setting a clock down, drawing the attention of the teens. "You're late," shouts Sakura with Naruto. "Yeah, a black cat crossed my path, so I had to take the long way around," says Kakashi with an eye smile. The three teens deadpan at the excuse. Kakashi looks at the three and can tell they are full of energy. "Judging by your tone and energy, I'm guessing you ate breakfast," says Kakashi as Naruto nods his head. "Very good, never skip a meal because as ninja it could be your last," states Kakashi with a serious tone. "Anyways, you have until noon to get one of these two bells away from me," says Kakashi as he holds up two bells. "Those who fail to do so will be tied to the post and watch the others eat their lunch," says Kakashi with an eye smile. "I get it so far, but why are there only two bells?" asks Sakura, making Kakashi chuckle. "Since there's only two, then at least one of you will be tied to the log," says Kakashi, making the teens groan. "Also the person that fails will be sent back to the academy," says Kakashi, making the teens narrow their eyes as the tension rises. "So in other words, we could all fail," says Naruto, getting a nod from Kakashi. "You can use all manner of jutsu and weapons to get the job done," says Kakashi, making Sasuke and Naruto narrow their eyes. "But you could get seriously hurt," exclaims Sakura, knowing just how dangerous weapons are to the human body. "Idiot, don't you realize what he's saying?" asks Naruto with narrowed eyes and a slight sweat on his face. "What do you mean?" asks Sakura with confusion. "He's saying that even if we use weapons we won't beat him," says Sasuke with some sweat on his face. "But given that he is our sensei, he must have been told about the Kunoichi Sasuke and I beat the previous year," thinks Naruto while looking at Kakashi. "Does this mean that he is better than those three?" thinks Sasuke. Kakashi stands in front of the three as the teens tense up. "Naruto," says Sasuke in a whisper. "Don't tell me what to do," growls Naruto. "Ready, Hajime," says Kakashi as Naruto quickly flashes through hand signs, making Kakashi hum in surprise. "On. Jin no Jutsu, Wind Style. Dust Storm Jutsu," shouts Naruto as exhales a stream of high-velocity wind containing dust particles, capable of decimating anything caught in it in only a matter of moments. The attack picks up dirt and dust while creating a trench in the ground. An explosion occurs in the forest as the attack stops. Kakashi looks to the trench and whistles. "That was close," says Kakashi as he sees the teens have vanished. "I forgot that they can use elemental jutsu, better keep my guard up," says Kakashi as he glances around. Naruto watches from a tree while Sasuke overlooks from a branch. Sakura hangs upside down from a branch. He was able to dodge the attack at such close range, thinks Sakura in amazement. "He's fast," thinks Sasuke. "At that range this guy's good," thinks Naruto with a smirk as he grips his sword on his back. "So the attack was a diversion to keep their locations hidden, impressive," thinks Kakashi. "The basic for a ninja is to conceal their presence and hide their location," says Kakashi as he glances around. Sakura flips up on the branch and fingers her kunai. Sasuke moves quickly and lands in a bush. Naruto flips over a branch and lands to the left of Kakashi, in a tree. They've hidden nicely," says Kakashi before he hears something coming through the air. He dodges two kunai, but sees the third has a paper bomb. "Sakura, huh?" thinks Kakashi as the tag goes off. Sakura closes her eyes from the dust before she looks around for Kakashi. She widens her eyes when he doesn't appear. "What, where'd he go?" asks Sakura. "A nice attack, but you missed," says Kakashi as he hovers above Sakura, his eyes widen. "One down," says Kakashi before Sakura smirks. Kakashi widens his eye when Naruto and Sasuke approach from different sides in haste. "You fell for it," shouts Naruto as he launches a kick while Sasuke launches a punch. "The trap," thinks Kakashi before ducking under the leg kick from Naruto, whose kick destroys the tree trunk. He then catches the punch from Sasuke and swings him into Naruto. The two sail back and hit the ground as Sakura throws a smoke bomb. "Perhaps I've underestimated these three." "Boy, get off," says Sasuke as Naruto groans and struggles to move. "Sasuke-kun, Naruto," shouts Sakura as she lands by the teens. Sakura then gasps as Kakashi comes down on the teens. "You're not paying attention," says Kakashi as he comes down. "That's my line," says Naruto from behind Kakashi. "Huh, when did you?" asks Kakashi before Naruto latches onto the waist of Kakashi. Kakashi then sees Naruto by Sasuke and widens his eye. Age Bunshin, shadow clone. Says Kakashi in surprise. Sakura. Shouts Sasuke as Sakura forms a ram seal. The air distorts and she fades away. Ninjutsu. Thinks Kakashi as he looks to Sasuke who lands on the tiger seal. Heian. Nkakik no Jutsu, fire style. Fireball Jutsu. Shouts Sasuke as he breathes out a large fireball that overcomes Kakashi and the clone. The fireball explodes, creating a smoke cloud. Out of the smoke cloud comes Kakashi who quickly turns to block the katana of Naruto who clicks his teeth. These guys, despite their mutual dislike for each other, they have good teamwork. Thinks Kakashi as he deflects the blade and kicks Naruto back. Sasuke dashes forward and swipes with his Shakudo. Kakashi blocks the sword and flips away. Naruto walks up beside Sasuke and the two grit their teeth. Shinobi battle tactics. Ninjutsu. Says Kakashi as he flashes through hand signs. Heian. Kurikten, fire style. Fire dragon bomb. Shouts Kakashi as he breathes out a flame breath. Naruto steps forward as the attack closes in. Naruto forms a single hand seal and inhales. Suiten. Sujin Heki, water style. Water wall. Counters Naruto as he breathes out water that rises in the form of tidal waves that crash against the fire jutsu. The attacks create a steam cloud that blinds the vision of the combatants. As powerful as ever. Thinks Kakashi before his sense flare. Out of the steam cloud come several fireballs. However, Kakashi sees the shuriken in the fireballs and makes several hand signs. Oten. Dorikeki, earth style. Mud wall. Counters Kakashi as he slams his palms on the ground. A slab of earth rises to block the fireballs. Sasuke clicks his teeth with his Sharingan active. Naruto smiles with his Byakugan active. Mokuton. Hitsuga Ida, wood style. Sprouting branches. Says Naruto as Kakashi widens his eyes when three spear-like branches break through the mud wall and impale him. Naruto growls when he sees the substitution. Nice try. Says Kakashi as he kicks both the teens away. Naruto flips and recovers with Sasuke doing the same. Suddenly the air shifts and glimmers, making Kakashi's lone eye widen. Meijin. Hinagasumi, demon illusion. Flower haze. Says Sakura as Kakashi is trapped in a flower bud. Not bad but this won't work against me. Says Kakashi as he releases the Jinjutsu only to see a large fireball coming down from the sky. The double-layered Jinjutsu. Thinks Kakashi in surprise before releasing the Jinjutsu. As he does he sees Sakura in front of him with glowing palms. She taps his arm and leg before Kakashi sweeps her legs. Sakura flips and jumps away as Naruto comes forward. Crap. Thinks Kakashi before he feels his body weaken around the area Sakura tapped. I see, she used chakra scalpels to slow my movements. Thinks Kakashi before Naruto punches him right in the gut. Kakashi's guts caves in before he is launched away. As he flies through the air, Sasuke catches him and flips him before landing on top. Snakes come from the ground and wrap around Kakashi as Naruto's palms are on the ground. Sasuke points his weapon at Kakashi's throat while Sakura stands. We win. Says Sasuke as Kakashi looks at the teens. This seems like it's enough. Says Kakashi before he poofs away in white smoke. The teens widen their eyes before Kakashi walks from behind a tree. Kakashi leans on the tree and smiles at the teens. I have to say, you're better than I would have guessed. Says Kakashi with an eye smile. The teens stand and look to Kakashi. But time is up. Says Kakashi with a serious tone. The teens click their teeth. You all pass. Says Kakashi, making the teens look to him. Says Naruto not believing he heard right. This exercise was to see if you could all work together despite your differences. Says Kakashi as he walks out of the forest with the teens following. Sorry maybe I wasn't clear the first time, I'll say it again says Naruto as they stop at a large stone. In the ninja world, those who break the rules are scum, says Kakashi making the teens nod their heads as they've been told, but those who abandon their friends are worse than scum. Sakura beams at the line while Naruto widens his eyes at Kakashi. Sasuke smirks at the line. Hate that Naruto, Kakashi says we're friends. Says Sakura, making Naruto look to her. More like acquaintances. Says Naruto, making Sakura yell at him. Well the three don't get along they are still friends. Even though they are different they've been together since they started the academy and despite their arguments and pot shots, Naruto wouldn't abandon a single member of his class and village. Alright, Squad 7 starts its first mission tomorrow. Says Kakashi with an eye smile and sweat drop at the teens arguing. Sakura walks into her room with a yawn before getting ready for bed. Sakura combs her head while looking into her mirror. She then giggles with a blush as a picture of Team 7 stands on the dresser. Naruto and Sasuke are glaring at each other while Sakura smiles in between them. Kakashi holds their heads with an eye smile. At Sasuke's house, Sasuke walks into his room and sits on his bed. He holds the picture of Team 7 and puts it on the dresser next to his bed. Sasuke then lies back and looks at the ceiling with narrowed eyes. Suddenly his eyes glance to the right and he sees an Anbu standing. "You're late," says Sasuke as he gets up. "Forgive me, Danzo-sama said you'd arrive later," says the Anbu as Sasuke looks to him. "Take me to him, he still has some more to teach me," says Sasuke as he walks forward. The two vanish via Shunshin. At the Hyuga estate, Naruto sneaks into Hinata's room and lands in her bed. Hinata wakes up in alarm until she sees Naruto, who drags her back in the bed. Naruto gets close and kisses Hinata, who sighs in content. "How'd it go?" asks Hinata after releasing the kiss. "Ah, I think I've known my sensei all my life," says Naruto with a smile. "Huh?" says Hinata in confusion. "He's the only Inu I like," says Naruto as he snuggles into Hinata, who faintly blushes. Naruto closes his eyes and sighs. Hinata giggles and closes her eyes while facing Naruto. In Naruto's apartment is the Team 7 picture. Naruto asked one go Naruto. It is about mid-morning in the Leaf Village as the sun shines in the sky. Deep in one of the many forests that surround the village is Team 7. Naruto is upside down on a tree branch with Sasuke hiding behind a trunk. Sakura is not seen, but a shimmer in the air tells her team she is near. "Red Viper, I'm at point A," says Naruto over the comms as he drops from the tree and swings on a branch before landing. "Raven, I'm at point B," says Sasuke over the comms before he quickly dashes from tree to tree. "Blossom, I'm at point C," says Sakura as the shimmer in the air moves and lands on a branch. "Scarecrow is in position," says Kakashi before looking up. Says a surprised Kakashi as a small blur dashes over him in the trees. Three pairs of eyes widen when they see the blur move past their trap. "Damn," curses Naruto as he gives chase with Sasuke and Sakura following. Sakura dispels her genjutsu and frowns. "Damn it Naruto, you gave us away," growls Sakura as Naruto looks back to her with a tick mark. "I gave us away, what about you and that god-awful perfume you're wearing?" growls Naruto before he flips on a branch and gives chase. They all stop as the blur enters several bushes. "Enough, you'll scare the target away," says Sasuke as he glances from behind the tree trunk. "Ah, if he saw your face, I'm pretty sure the poor guy is horrified," says Naruto as he hides in a tree. "Enough chatter," says Kakashi in a stern tone, making the genin glare at each other. "Now," orders Kakashi as the genin pounce through the pushes. The blur turns out to be a small cat with a red ribbon. But to all the genin, this cat is the bane of all ninja. Genin have referred to the cat as Tora the demon cat. Tora hisses and dodges Sakura before jumping on the head of Sasuke. Naruto smirks and spreads his arms. Suddenly the cat scratches his eyes, making Naruto yell out in anger and pain. "That's it," shouts Naruto as he thrusts his arm towards Tora. "Tsunade Ashu, striking shadow snakes," growls Naruto as 4 average-size snakes burst from Naruto's sleeve. The snakes wrap around Tora, who hisses in fear, while the snakes seem to smirk with glowing red eyes, seemingly daring the cat to move. Naruto stomps on the ground, making Tora look up and pale at the sight of Naruto drawing his sword. "Naruto, we can't kill the target," says Sakura with folded arms. "If we do, we fail the mission," says Sasuke before Naruto looks back at them with glowing red eyes and waving red hair. "Who said anything about killing him, huh?" asks Naruto, making the others sweat drop. Naruto begins to chuckle evilly as the snakes hiss in delight. "I'm just going to show him what's going to happen if he runs away again," says Naruto as he licks his lips. Tora screeches in fear before passing out. Sakura and Sasuke restrain Naruto while Sasuke taps his ear. "Kakashi, lost pet Tora has been captured," says Sasuke as Naruto flails around. "Good, mission accomplished," says Kakashi with an eye smile. "I'm gonna kill that damn cat," shouts Naruto through the earpiece. Kakashi's eye is a swirl at the loud voice as he loses balance. Naruto asked one Naruto's daily life. Back in the mission office, Team 7 watches as Tora is squeezed to death by the daimyo's wife. Naruto chuckles darkly at the cat's pain while Sasuke smirks, having had his share of misfortune because of the cat. Sakura sweat drops at the woman crushing the cat. "Now we know why he always runs away," says Sakura, making Kakashi chuckle sheepishly. "Ah, yes, well he won't be running away again," says Naruto darkly as he stares at the cat and gets close. "Isn't that right, Tora?" Tora pales and latches onto the daimyo's wife, making the woman laugh and hug the cat more. "Oh thank you, you cute little boy," exclaims the woman as she pinches Naruto's cheeks. Naruto flails around as his face moves from left to right. Naruto gets away while Tora seemingly laughs at the teen, and Naruto growls before trying to pull out his sword. Kakashi holds Naruto in the background as the woman is oblivious to Naruto's intentions. "Well thank you and you all have a nice day," cheers the woman with a laugh as she leaves. Naruto folds his arms over his chest with a throbbing tick mark. "Now then, for Team 7's next mission, we have yard work, babysitting, painting a fence," says Hiruzen as Naruto's tick mark grows to several dozen and he begins to shake. "Let me see that," says Naruto with a smile as he takes the list and rips it up before throwing it down and lighting a match. The occupants of the room watch with sweat drops as the patch of paper burns with Naruto looking on. Hiruzen sweat drops before Naruto looks back at him. I want a real mission, something that will test my limits as a shinobi, says Naruto with a serious tone. Hiruzen widens his eyes as the second Hokage overlaps with Naruto's face. Hiruzen shakes his head before smiling. You idiot, you're just a brand new genin with absolutely no experience, shouts Iruka with a tick mark. Oh yeah? Sakura, shouts Naruto, making Sakura jumps up with a sweat drop. Why yeah? Says Sakura as Naruto looks to her. What's our mission record? Demands Naruto, making Sakura put on a thoughtful expression. 10D ranks, 5C ranks I think, says Sakura, making Kakashi nod his head. You see, we're experienced enough to go on a real mission, says Naruto, making Iruka sigh and look to the Hokage, who takes a puff of his pipe. Well Kakashi, what do you think about all this? Asks Hiruzen, making Kakashi look to his genin. He sees them pull off a weakness of his. They all form puppy dog eyes, even Sasuke. Kakashi sweat drops and looks to the Hokage. Lord Hokage, I believe they are ready for a more challenging mission, says Kakashi before looking to Iruka, who is about to protest. Originally the graduation year for genin was when they were 13, but now it is 15, an extra 2 more years to truly learn what it means to be a ninja, says Kakashi, making Iruka look down in thought. He and the other teachers had taught their students more than just simple things like academics. They taught them ninjutsu, taijutsu, jinjutsu, the body's weak parts, and one of the requirements to graduate was to kill a pet bird that was given to them the year before. Now, the genin should be turning 16 soon. He's got a point, says Iruka after a while. Naruto looks to him with a smile. Very well. Send him in, says Hiruzen as the doors open and a gray-haired, bespectacled man with a large beard and dark eyes walks in. The man wears a sleeveless V-neck shirt with an obi, pants and a pair of sandals. He also carries a towel around his neck and wears a pointed hat on his head. As he enters, Naruto's nose crinkles in disgust at the smell of alcohol. Took you long enough, grumbles the man, making Sasuke and Sakura look to him. The man takes a swig of his sake and exhales. He then looks at the genin and scoffs. These guys are nothing more than a bunch of snot-nosed brats, grumbles the man, making Naruto grow a tick mark. Kakashi sees this and chuckles sheepishly while stepping forward. Believe me when I tell you, they are the real deal, says Kakashi as the man looks to him. If you say so, says the man before drinking more sake. The name is Tazuna and I'm a master bridge builder. I must return to my country unharmed, so you'll protect me even at the cost of your lives, says Tazuna. Team 7 smirks at the statement while Kakashi looks to them. We leave in the morning, says Kakashi as the genin vanish via Shunshin, making Tazuna gape. Hyuga Estate, Naruto asked one evening. Hiya, says a feminine voice as the guards wake from the slumber and look around. They see nothing and look at each other before falling back to sleep. Hinata blushes beet red at Naruto, who chuckles. Hinata has a towel around her body as Naruto rubs his head. Sorry, I didn't know you were in the shower, says Naruto, making Hinata pout. That's why I tell you to use the door and knock, says Hinata, making Naruto flop back on the bed. Hinata blinks before going over to the bed and leaning over Naruto. Naruto-kun, says Hinata before Naruto's arms reach for her and pull her down. Hiya, shouts Hinata as she is pulled into Naruto's chest. Hinata blushes but sighs into the hug as Naruto smiles before lifting her chin. Hinata gazes into Naruto's eyes before Naruto kisses her. Hinata widens her eyes but doesn't fight the kiss. Naruto pulls back and smiles when he sees the hazy look in Hinata's eyes. I got a mission outside the village today, says Naruto, making Hinata shake out of her trance. Oh really? Asks Hinata as she is both happy and worried. Naruto sees the worry on her face and smiles. Don't worry, I'll be okay, assures Naruto as he pulls Hinata close and kisses her. The two fall back into the bed. Naruto asked one morning. The next morning, Naruto awakens from his slumber and spots Hinata sleeping soundly. Naruto kisses her cheek and stands from the bed. He stops when he sees a pair of clothes out for him and a note. Naruto takes the note and reads it. Naruto-kun, I made these for you and I've prepared a large lunch for you, reads Naruto, who smiles before looking to the clothes. Naruto puts them on and looks in the mirror. Naruto now wears a black shirtishim that has 2 white shoulder plates crossing his chest in an X shape with his katana strapped to his back. The plates on his shoulders both have 3 sections adorned with red scales, and a white cloak with black markings is tied around his waist. On the back of the shirtishim is the Uzumaki swirl. Under the shirtishim appears to be a modified Anbu vest to protect him. On his legs he wears black shin guards and ninja sandals. Naruto's hair is still styled in the same way as Jiraiya's. Thank you Hinata, whispers Naruto as he kisses the sleeping girl before heading down the steps and taking his lunch and sealing it away. Naruto dashes out of the estate and towards the gathering point. Naruto gets close and sees a black figure waiting. Naruto asked one Kakashi's theme. "Oh great," says Naruto as he lands. Sasuke looks to him and the two stare off before turning their heads away. Sasuke wears a black cloak over a black shirt and pants with a white belt and white bandages wrapped up to his knees on both legs. He has his shakudo slung across the back of his waist. "Outfit change," says Sasuke as he glances to Naruto. "Yeah, you too," says Naruto, making Sasuke turn away. "Yeah," says Sasuke as the awkwardness continues. "Hey," calls a voice, making the two teens look to see Sakura running up to them. Sakura wears a sleeveless red kipao dress that reaches her upper thighs, with white trimmings and a white circular design on the back. It is tied with a black obi. She wears black shorts underneath the dress, black gloves, and gray elbow and knee protectors. Her hair is still long, and her forehead protector is used as a hairband. Sakura blushes and looks to Sasuke. "Sasuke-kun, how do I look?" asks Sakura, making Naruto click his teeth. Sasuke looks to Sakura and turns away. "Okay I guess," says Sasuke, but Sakura takes it as a win and fist pumps. Tazuna soon arrives and looks at the teens. He is shocked at how adult they look before Kakashi arrives. The teens all gape at Kakashi, who looks to them. "What's wrong?" asks Kakashi. The teens look up at the sky before Sasuke activates his Sharingan. Well?" asks Naruto as Sasuke looks to him. "It's real," confirms Sasuke, making Sakura gasp. "I don't believe it, Kakashi-sensei is actually on time," says Naruto with a gasp. Kakashi sweat drops before the team departs from the Leaf Village. As they depart, two pairs of eyes watch them from the trees. The pair follow the team while staying out of sight. Kakashi glances back with his genin doing the same. Their suspicions grow as they walk for several miles, and the pair still follow. The genin look to Kakashi, who shakes his head. Sakura attempts to act normal and strikes up a conversation. "Say, old man," says Sakura, who covers her mouth with a blush. She has been hanging out with Naruto too long. "It's Tazuna," growls the old man. "Keep up, old man," says Naruto as he walks forward. Tazuna growls and grumbles about disrespectful brats. Naruto asked loneliness. "Doesn't Wave Country have their own ninja?" asks Sakura, making Naruto stop dead in his tracks. Kakashi looks to him before looking to Sakura. "Sakura, there are some things that shouldn't be told," says Kakashi, making Sakura tilt her head in confusion. "I believe there was once a village that was nearby," says Tazuna with a thoughtful expression. Naruto walks with his hair shadowed. Having been alone for a long time, Naruto attempted to learn if he had a clan. He learned that he was part of the Uzumaki clan from Tsunade and Jiraiya, who told Naruto about the clan. "I believe they were called the Uzumaki clan," says Tazuna, making Sasuke and Sakura look to Naruto. Kakashi sighs at the big mouth of Tazuna. "The Uzumaki clan were a clan of powerful ninja who were masters of Fuinjutsu," says Kakashi as Naruto thinks about his long-dead clan. "Fuinjutsu?" asks Sakura as she had heard it in the academy but never opted to learn any of it. "Sealing Jutsu. It was because of their great skill in this art that they were destroyed in the Second Ninja War," says Kakashi, making Sakura widen her eyes. "Those who survived were hunted down," says Kakashi. "Wait, how could they be hunted down? They were ninja, so couldn't they hide their identity?" asks Sakura with Sasuke looking to Naruto. "Red hair," states Sasuke, making Kakashi nod his head and Sakura to look to Sasuke. "Red hair?" asks Sakura before widening her eyes. "Red hair is the dead giveaway to any Uzumaki," says Kakashi. Naruto stops and sighs before glancing back to the others. "Shut up, I don't want to hear about the Uzumaki clan," says Naruto before he continues to walk. The rest of the journey is silent as the genin feel the presence of others nearby. Kakashi spots a puddle of water and shakes his head. The teens surround Tazuna, who is oblivious to the danger. Suddenly a group of ninja jump from the trees and throw kunai with paper bombs attached. Naruto narrows his eyes and weaves six-hand seals in a fast pace. Sarutobi Naruto Os 3 Ninpo. Hari Jism, Ninja Art. Needle Jizo, says Naruto as his hair flares to life and wraps around himself, Tazuna, Kakashi, Sakura and Sasuke. The hair turns into spikes resembling needles. This is done by using chakra to harden the hair. The kunai hit the hair and detonate in an explosion. Suddenly out of the smoke cloud comes Sasuke, who cuts down 3 of the assassins before kicking a 4th. The assassins turn their attention to Sasuke but fail to see Sakura dash from the smoke with glowing hands. Sakura hits 2 in the chest before hitting 1 in the shoulder and leg. "Bitch," growls the assassin before Sakura jumps back next to Sasuke. The two teens smirk before the assassins widen their eyes. "Ninpo. Hari Jigoku, Ninja Art. Needle Hell," says Naruto as he shoots out a barrage of hardened hair needles towards the assassins while still having Tazuna wrapped in his hair. The assassins fall one by one as Kakashi looks on. The fight is over as the assassins lie on the ground with scattered groans between them. Some are dead while others won't be fighting. Very good, Naruto protects the group before Sasuke and Sakura use the smoke to launch a sneak attack, but the attack was only meant to avert the enemy's attention to them, while Naruto launches a wide-range attack to finish them off. Thinks Kakashi with a smile. Suddenly from the small pool of water comes two ninja with gauntlets connected by a chain. The two wrap the chain around Kakashi who grunts and struggles. One down. State the two ninja before pulling the chain. Kakashi is seemingly ripped apart on the spot, making Tazuna gasp. However, the teens move quickly with Sakura throwing shuriken and kunai. The shuriken hits the chain and sticks it to a tree trunk before the kunai keeps it there. What? Growls Gozu. Damn. Curse Maizu before their eyes widen as Sasuke lands on their gauntlets. Sasuke kicks both of them in the face, prompting the two to detach the chain. As Gozu falls back he feels arms around his waist and glances back to see a smirking Naruto. One down. Says Naruto before he performs belly to back waist lock suplex on the assassin. The ground cracks and a small crater is formed from the force of Gozu's head hitting the ground. Tazuna gapes at the strength of the boy. Gozu! Shouts Maizu as he sees Gozu go limp and fall unconscious. You bastard! Growls Maizu as he dashes forward. Naruto sees him coming and smiles as he slightly unsheathes the sword on his back. The sun shines of the blade and blinds Maizu who grunts. You're open. Says Sasuke from behind Maizu. Maizu widens his eyes and turns only for Sasuke to go right by him with his sword unsheathed. Maizu spurts blood from his waist. Ah! Coughs Maizu before turning, only to take a palm to the head. The force of the palm drives the back of his head into the ground and uproots some rocks. Naruto stands above him with his right palm forward. Maizu's eyes are wide after the attack as Kakashi walks from behind a tree. Naruto asks to afternoon of Konoha. Yosh, well done. Says Kakashi, making the genin look to him. Ara, Kakashi-sensei you're alive. Says Sakura with a smile. Yeah, I thought you were dead for sure. Says Naruto, making Kakashi sweat drop and sulk. Looks like that's all of them, says Sasuke as he walks up before look at Kakashi, you're alive. Kakashi sulks with a cloud of depression, while the genin chuckle with demon tails and horns. The genin gather the bodies of the out-cold assassins, while Kakashi and Tazuna watch. Gozu and Maizu are thrown near a tree trunk before Naruto weaves hand signs. Mokuta no jutsu, wood-style jutsu. Says Naruto before branches sprout from the ground and bind Maizu and Gozu in stalks. The two brothers widen their eyes at the use of wood style. Naruto asked one glued state. Who was it you were trying to kill? Demands Sasuke with his Sharingan active, ready to use Jinjutsu to get the answer. Ha! Scoff the brothers. Who hired you? Demands Sakura only for the brothers to remain silent. Who hired you, tell us. Says Naruto as he crouches down to their level. The brothers look at him as Naruto loses his patience. Tell us now. Demands Naruto. Enough, Naruto. Says Kakashi, making the genin turn to him. Kakashi-sensei, we need to know who sent them. That was the first thing we learned in interrogation class. Says Sakura with Kakashi eye smiling. Not to worry, they weren't after any of us. Says Kakashi, making the teens look to each other. Huh? States Naruto as he remembers the assassins throwing paper bombs at him. Would you like to hop in on this conversation, Mr. Tazuna? Asks Kakashi as he looks to the bridge builder who sweats a little. Ah, you fools have no idea what's coming. Says Gozu as Naruto glances back at him. Our master will take you fools down in a heartbeat. Says Maizu before wood branches cover their mouths. Don't underestimate the shinobi of the leaf. Says Naruto after crouching down to their level. What should we do with them? Asks Sasuke, making Kakashi look to the brothers. Leaving them here to escape and try again is foolish. Says Kakashi as Sasuke nods and bites his finger before flashing through hand signs. Uchius no jutsu, summoning jutsu. States Sasuke as he slams his palm down on the ground. A poof of smoke appears before vanishing to show an average-sized wolf. Kakashi raises a brow at wolf before eye smiling. Sasuke-san. Greets the wolf with a head boy. Please, I need you to head back to the village and hand those two over to the Hokage. Says Sasuke, making the wolf look to the brothers. Naruto takes out a scroll, which has a sealing formation on it. A storage seal. Thinks Kakashi before Naruto weaves hand signs. Yuinjutsu. Kamusho, sealing jutsu. Prison. Says Naruto as the air distorts and sealing formations appear around the two brothers. Suddenly chains and shackles wrap around the brothers before a large shell lands in their backs. The shells have acupuncture needles on them that sink into the backs of the brothers. By the time this is done, the brothers can't lift or move an inch. Naruto then takes the scroll and swings it around his body before wrapping it around the brothers. Yuin, seal. Commands Naruto as the brothers vanish in a puff of smoke. Naruto wraps the scroll before placing it within the wolf's mouth. Bleeze bows his head before dashing off. A dust cloud forms behind him as he takes off towards the Leaf Village. Naruto asked one nervous. In a forest a distance away from Team 7 and Tazuna sits a hideout. The trees block the hideout from full view, but those who get close enough could see the building. Sitting in the hideout is a tall man with a massive zanbato. "You failed. You failed," shouts a small man with puffy brown hair and wears a small pair of black glasses. He also wears a black suit with a purple tie. He stares at the tall man in anger. "I use big money for you and you failed to take care of one lousy bridge builder," shouts the man with anger before the tall man points his massive zanbato at him. "Shut up," commands the tall man who has short spiky black hair, dark brown eyes, and small eyebrows. He has bandages wrapped around his face like a mask. He has a kiri forehead protector pointed sideways on his head. He is shirtless, with his chest only covered by a belt, wearing baggy pants with a striped pattern typical of Kurigakure and mimetic wrist warmers extending up to his elbows, with matching leg warmers. "This time I will handle it myself." Naruto Os 2 Afternoon of Konoha. The village hidden in the leaves is peaceful and quiet in the afternoon. The wind blows faintly, making leaves fall from the trees and create a beautiful sight. Izumo Kamizuki and his partner Katetsu Hagane sit at the gate and smile. They sniff in the air and lean back on their chairs peacefully. "What a wonderful day," says Katetsu with Izumo nodding his head. "Indeed, every day should be like this," says Izumo. Several kids play in front of the two, making them smile. They blush when their mothers come to get them. Katetsu smiles like an idiot while Izumo suddenly becomes very shy. "Greetings, ladies," says Katetsu to the women who look to him and flash him a beautiful smile. Katetsu rubs the back of his head with a smile. "What are you doing out here, may I ask?" asks a young woman with a head tilt. Katetsu puffs out his chest with a smile. "Well, as you know, a ninja's job is to protect the village and we guard this gate," says Katetsu, making the woman impressed. "Yes ma'am, nothing gets by us," says Katetsu before a blur followed by a dust cloud goes right by them. However, the women and Katetsu fail to notice this as they continue to talk. Izumo is having a hard time talking to a young girl who blushes. Naruto Ost 1 Nervous. Blaze moves through the village with haste before turning a sharp left. He widens his eyes when he sees a bunch of kids coming his way. Blaze weaves between the kids without them noticing before heading towards the Hokage Tower. Hiruzen is busy filling out a stack of paperwork before his secretary comes in and puts down another huge stack. Hiruzen sheds a tear at the stack of paper. Suddenly his doors slam open and Blaze runs straight up to his desk. The following dust trail comes in and knocks the paper stacks down, making Hiruzen pale as his soul comes from his mouth. "Lord Hokage, I come with an update from Team 7. Says Blaze with a sweat drop at the aged Hokage. Hiruzen looks over his desk to see a wolf with a scroll in his mouth. Hiruzen takes the scroll as teammate enters the room. Akamaru barks and Blaze turns to him. The two sniff each other before barking, giving each other their approval. "Lord Hokage?" asks Kurenai as Hiruzen stands and opens the scroll. Hinata widens her eyes, recognizing the writing as Naruto's. That's Naruto-kun's seal," says Hinata with a worried face. Hiruzen nods and looks at the seal. A storage seal that requires a specific sequence of hand signs," says Hiruzen before standing. He weaves the hand signs and the scroll steams, but doesn't open. "What happened?" asks Kiba in confusion. "The seal has a secondary sequence to throw off anyone who isn't supposed to read it," says Hiruzen before chuckling. Naruto appears to be quite proficient at Fuinjutsu. Hinata smiles at the compliment but still has a worried face. "How do you open it?" asks Shino, who becomes curious. Hiruzen smiles before biting his finger and swiping the seal with blood. The seal releases and the occupants of the room are greeted by the sight of the demon brothers. The brothers are shackled just as Naruto had them when he sealed them within the storage seal. The Hokage picks up the scroll and reads the now unsealed information. "Who are these guys?" asks Kiba as Akamaru growls. "They're the demon brothers," says Kurenai in slight surprise, a duo of ninja from the Mist Village. But why are they sealed in Naruto-kun's prison seal?" asks Hinata, making Kurenai turn to her. "Prison seal?" asks Kurenai, making Hinata even blush. "It seems Team 7 has encountered hostile forces on their mission," says Hiruzen as he turns to Team 8. Hinata widens her eyes and grips both hands close to her chest. "Naruto-kun," thinks a worried Hinata. Hiruzen then smiles and sets the scroll down. "But they have easily dispatched the first threat and have decided to complete their mission," says Hiruzen, making Hinata widen her eyes. Will you send backup?" asks Hinata with a determined face. Hiruzen chuckles and shakes his head, making Hinata deflate. "Kakashi has not asked for it and is confident his team can handle it," says Hiruzen, making Hinata numbly nod her head. Kiba looks to her and scratches his cheek. "Well, knowing that idiot Naruto, he'll kick everyone's butt to get back to Hinata," says Kiba with Akamaru barking in agreement. Hinata lifts her head as Kiba gives her a thumbs up. Hinata smiles and nods her head at the words. "I agree, Naruto-san is capable of dealing with anything that comes his way," says Shino as Kurenai places a hand on Hinata's shoulder in assurance. Hiruzen, however, turns to the window with narrowed eyes. This mission has gone from B rank to an A rank, thinks Hiruzen as he blows smoke from his mouth, which means it is likely Jonin Ninja will become involved. Naruto-kun, please be careful. Prays Hinata. Naruto asked one evening, over a misty lake, sails a small boat with 5 passengers and the boatman. The mist hides the boat from view, but behind the boat is the exact same boat with the exact same passengers. After the ambush by the Demon Brothers, Team 7 has been on guard ever since. Sakura has cast a Jinjutsu to fool any ninja that might be after them. Walking alongside of the actual boat are 2 clones of Naruto. Naruto, keep close, it's easy to lose track of us in this mist. Says Kakashi as the clones nod their heads. Kakashi then looks to the Naruto in the boat who has his Byakugan active. Anything, Naruto? Asks Kakashi as Naruto scans the entire area with his Byakugan. Naruto deactivates his eyes and shakes his head. We're all good. Says Naruto, making Kakashi nod his head and look to Sakura. Okay Sakura, you can put down the Jinjutsu. Says Kakashi as Sakura closes her eyes. The boat in front of them vanishes as Sakura exhales a breath. This fog is so thick you can't see anything. Says Sakura before she looks to Sasuke and Naruto, who raise their brows. Well, most people can't see anything. Corrects Sakura. Structure ahead. States a clone of Naruto, making Kakashi look in the direction the clone is. It must be the bridge, we're getting close. Says the boatman. Sasuke looks in the direction of the clone's line of sight. I see it. Says Sasuke as the making of the bridge breaks through the fog. Whoa, that's big. Says Naruto with wide eyes. Keep it down. Commands the boatman in a whisper. Naruto's ear twitches as he turns to the boatman. The boatman pales as he sees Naruto's hair flail around. I mean, we don't want to attract attention, sir. Says the boatman as Naruto lets his hair down. I just said we're all clear. States Naruto. He's right, if there were ninja following us then the loser's loud voice would have allowed them to pinpoint our location and we would be in combat by now. Says Sasuke, making Naruto glare at him. Huh? States Naruto as he gets in Sasuke's face. The two glare as sparks fly from their eyes. Kakashi sweat drops at the two, while Sakura sighs. Kakashi then looks to Tazuna, who sighs with his head down and an ashamed face. Tazuna, I think it is time you tell us what exactly is going on. Says Kakashi as while they may have agreed to continue the mission, he still needs to know all the facts. Tazuna then tells the group about Gato and his shipping company. He tells them of the starving people in the land of waves and that the bridge is going to give the people a new chance at a good life. He then tries to guilt Team 7 into helping by telling them about his daughter and grandson. Alright, we said we'd help already. Says Kakashi as he rubs the back of his head. Naruto chuckles with Sakura while Sasuke smirks. Ill-tripped. Calls Naruto, making Kakashi sulk with a cloud of depression at his genin mocking him. The genin all laugh with devil horns and tails. As the boat goes on, the clones of Naruto rush forward. The clones get to land and dispel after taking a look around. Naruto in the boat perks up and looks to Kakashi. The shore is just ahead and everything is clear. Says Naruto, making Kakashi eye smile and nod his head. So you've already figured out the secret to the shadow clone jutsu, you've grown, Naruto. Thinks Kakashi as he thinks back to a child Naruto running and smiling with a dog mask Anbu giving chase. The boat pulls up on the shore as Kakashi gets off. The group say their goodbyes to the boatman who sails off. Okay, take me to my home and I mean in one piece. Orders Tazuna. Team 7 sweat drops at the man, while Naruto's eyebrow twitches in annoyance. Oh, says Naruto before Kakashi drags him along. Naruto asks to fooling mode. The group walks on as the time passes. Naruto walks in front with Sasuke walking right by him. Naruto looks to him and walks in front of him. This goes on for a couple of seconds before Naruto growls. Sakura sighs at the two having watched the exchange. Can't they get along for just one day? Thinks Sakura with a heavy sigh. Hey idiot, get back in formation. Demands Naruto with anger. I am in formation, you red-haired fool. Says Sasuke, making Naruto grow a tick mark. Kakashi watches the two and sweat drops with a sigh. Despite their good teamwork the two can't see to get along. Kakashi chuckles softly at the similarities between those two and Obito and him. Those two need to take it easy, they're making me nervous. Says Tazuna while drinking some sake. Suddenly 3 pairs of eyes snap open and 3 kunai are thrown into a bush. Naruto, Sakura and Sasuke glare at the bush while Tazuna stands by Kakashi. Kakashi checks the bush and spots a white rabbit. Naruto and Sasuke look at the rabbit before coughing with a blush. Cute. Think both Sasuke and Naruto, but Naruto is picturing Hinata. Kakashi, however, narrows his eyes at the color of the rabbit. Leech's tables have turned. That rabbit, its fur is the wrong color. Thinks Kakashi as a white fur rabbit mean winter not spring. Hey, you are not the right color for this time of year. Says Naruto as he pets the rabbit. Yeah, you're right, what's up with that? Asks Sakura while Sasuke takes glances at the rabbit. Suddenly Naruto's eyes widen along with Sakura and Sasuke's, understanding what the rabbit was used for. Get down. Orders Kakashi as a heavy object is heard moving through the air. Naruto crouches low and watches a massive Zanbato sails over his head. Sasuke and Sakura drag Tazuna to the ground. The Zanbato embeds itself within a tree trunk before a man appears on the handle of the massive sword. The ninja recover quickly and surround Tazuna. Team 7 widen their eyes at the man on the sword. Is that? Asks Sakura with some fear coming out. It has to be. Says Sasuke with some sweat rolling down his face. Naruto looks at the man with a smile on his face while sweat rolls down his face. It's him alright, the man we learned about in the academy, says Naruto as he slightly unsheathes his sword, the demon of the mist, Zabuza Mamachi. Oh, I'm surprised a bunch of kids like you even know my name. Says Zabuza as he looks at the teens. Naruto fully draws his sword with Sasuke as the two glare. Kids? Well, if that's how you see us, I bet you'll blush a pretty pink when we kick your ass. Says Naruto, making Zabuza widen his eyes and laugh. You've got guts, kid, I'll give you that. Says Zabuza as the group stare off. According to our studies, you're rogue ninja from the mist. Says Sakura as she takes out a kunai. Who cares? Says Naruto as he dashes forward with Sasuke. Kakashi steps in front of them and blocks their path. Stop, get back. Orders Kakashi, making the two teens widen their eyes. Why? Asks Naruto as Sasuke nods his head, wanting to know as well. He's not like the others, Naruto, says Kakashi, making Naruto look to Zabuza who seems to smile at him. He's in a whole other league. So he's a Jonin, then? Asks Sasuke, making Kakashi nod his head. If he's the opponent then I'll need to step it up a notch. Says Kakashi as he grasps his headband. The teens gasp at the motion as they have never seen his other eyes. Kakashi of the Sharingan eye, is that right? Asks Zabuza, already knowing the answer. Sasuke widens his eyes at the title and looks to Kakashi. Naruto also looks in surprise. Kakashi has the Sharingan, thinks Naruto as he looks at Kakashi. Sakura, having studied many of Konoha's Kekkei Genkai, looks to Kakashi in surprise. Sharingan, what's that? Asks Tazuna with confusion as he stands behind Sakura. The Sharingan is a rare power that resides in the user's eyes, effectively making it a Dojutsu, says Sakura as she looks to Sasuke. The user of this power can instantly see and comprehend any Genjutsu, Taijutsu and Ninjutsu. Sound like a powerful thing to have on your side. Says Tazuna as Naruto scoffs a little. While an impressive Dojutsu, it can be fooled and generally those who have it become overconfident in using it. But the same could be said for those with the Byakugan. You got it right, girl, but you only scratched the surface, says Zabuza as Sakura glares at the man. The Sharingan can analyze an opponent's technique and copy it to the smallest detail. As he finishes, mist begins to blanket the area. Sasuke nods his head as he knows that very well, but also knows that copying a jutsu doesn't mean you can use it, especially if you don't have the chakra to do so. As for you Jonin, in the assassination unit of Kurigakure, we had a standing order to eliminate you on sight. Says Zabuza as the mist becomes thicker. Your profile was in our bingo book, says Zabuza as Kakashi and him stare off. It called you, the man who copied over 1,000 jutsu, Kakashi the copy ninja. Naruto looks to Kakashi with a raised brow, while Sasuke smirks at having a strong sensei. Well, I do enjoy about hearing of our sensei's exploits, says Naruto as he looks to Zabuza. Perhaps now is not the time to revel in the past when your future is looking a little bleak. Zabuza bursts out laughing and chuckles at Naruto. You never cease to amuse me, boy. Says Zabuza as Naruto smiles and does a theatrical bow. But you're right, says Zabuza as he crouches on the handle of his sword and grabs the handle. I need to kill that geezer. As he says this, Naruto, Sakura and Sasuke huddle around Tazuna with Tazuna in the middle of their formation. It seems I'll have to get rid of you first, Kakashi. Says Zabuza as he kicks off the tree trunk and vanishes.